Oh, a couple quick primer items that I had. They're pretty minor. You guys notice a couple of icons changed. Well, Ben, you're more for you. Everybody else, I just changed the icon, forgot it on your guys' bar, so you have that. So it doesn't have the ugly dice icon. I didn't notice that it was the default one, so I've changed that for you. The exhaustion things, I put those in there now. They are functional. If there is an edit, another update to Foundry, they could break again. But for now, they are functional. They work as intended. More importantly, though, if you guys bring up your character sheets, and then go over to the effects tab.
Got it.
And you'll see there that I, instead of just leaving them titled by the level, effects or exhaustion 1 and so on, I actually put what the effect is in there. One is a reminder for me too, so I don't have to bring up the sheet all the time, but also for you guys, so that you realize, so that the gravity of the situation of going up in exhaustion is more prevalent to you as well. So it doesn't automatically apply like speed being halved, for example, and it doesn't automatically apply the slow actions, but it will apply the D4, D68, and so on of the exhaustion levels that we use.
Nice.
But at least that, those reminders will be in there. Ben,
so if we need to turn them on, we just toggle the effect and we can turn them on and off ourselves, right?
You can. If we need to. I want to point something out so that everybody's listening. Listen closely. No, well, don't do this specifically, because if you delete them, I have to put them back, and that's just a pain in the ass. So don't, all of you pay attention to this when you go to the effects tab there. You see the little trash can on the far right? Don't click the trash can at all.
Okay, so the trash can and then the check mark?
The trash can will actually delete it and I'll have to re-add it. So how you enable it or disable it is the same as the other effects. You use the X to disable or the check mark to enable.
Okay.
And it'll bump them up and down. Obviously, if you have exhaustion 3, then don't put 1 and 2 and then 3, because it'll add all of those, then minus D4, then minus D6, then minus D8. So just put the one that you currently have up there. Ben, I'm pretty sure, and I think I edited this last week in my notes, but you were at 1 before, right? And now you're just at 2 because of your frenzied?
I think I was 1. Me
before
and
the fight, right?
One other, before the fight, me and one other person had an extra level of exhaustion more than the rest of the group.
No, because I'd used greater restoration on you, so you shouldn't have had. You had 1, and everybody else was at 0, I think.
Sarah was at 2.
Sarah was at 2. Okay.
I'm at 1 because I didn't get no damn sleep.
Well, okay, that's also, you guys didn't finish your long rest yet, so that will, presumably, if you guys can finish your long rest before, if you guys don't run off or whatever, then that will come down.
Well, remember, this motherfucker's still alive.
Yeah. Well, you guys didn't.
We're gonna still try to talk to him because I don't like killing people. If we can avoid it.
Presumably you're not going straight back to sleep. But what I'm getting at there is that you still can finish your long rest and get the exhaustion, level reduced there. But at least I just wanted to make sure that Norox was correct, because I was pretty sure I'd updated my notes to already include the friend, because his rage would have been falling by now while he was dragging the hammer away. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use greater restoration on Norok then. Once he comes back into the treehouse.
Okay.
Thank you.
To clarify.
Sure. So that means that right now, then, I have Norok at 2, Sarah at 2, Arteme Pogo, Nazim at 1, Shok at 2, Avar at 0 still.
So I have a quick DM question that I thought about right at the end of the last game. My spell where I can control an object, that was kind of where we ended. We were gonna wake him up, and I was gonna use that. If I cast it, even if he's holding it in his hand, I can still animate that object, and I can control it while he's holding it, huh? Like, I don't even need to take it away from him. I could just cast it while he's holding it and tell it to, hit the guy himself.
That's a good question. I would say probably yes. Let me look at if there's any kind of sage advice about that real quick.
I would say, because it's only non-magical objects.
It's just animate objects is the name of the spell, isn't it?
So I think they wrote in here specifically. They're probably like, well, what if you took control of a magical object? It'd be kind of fucked. So it seems like this might allow me to take control of other people's weapons and shit.
You guys took the warhorn away from him, right?
It's away from him, but if he goes to pick it back up, I can control it, and we can.
No, I mean, can you grab it? Because Arteme wants to look at it.
No, it's the size of fucking Norok.
it's taller than Norok by the half.
Can Norok grab it then?
He's dragging it. He was dragging it away.
500 pounds,
Let's see. I don't see. Oh, hang on. They're just casting it during time stop. No, so that's not the question I was looking for there. I don't see anybody asking that specific question, which is interesting, because that seems like something that would have come up at some point.
But I feel
Unless,
like
that compendium that I was looking at of Sage Advice could be old. It may have been asked since then.
Yeah, but that is pretty. I've never thought about doing that to animate objects, but I guess as long as it's not magical.
Yeah.
And I'll try to keep that realistic.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing, right? So for me, at least, you guys should know this by now. I generally will try to say yes to everything as long as it's reasonable, and and the rules don't outright say no, you can't do that. Then I'll try to say yes. But if you're just trying to abuse something and do it for every single fight, that wouldn't be fun for anybody.
Yeah.
In which case, then we'll clamp down on that. But
yeah.
In general, if it's a novel idea and it's creative enough, absolutely. I mean,
Cool.
that's generally been the case, for any weird shit you guys want to try. So we're not going to change that now.
This would be a large item, so it would probably still be almost max of what I can even control as an item.
So the base of it for this is you command an object to attack. It can make a single melee attack against a creature within 5 feet of it. Actually, the hammer is longer than that, so it'd be 10 feet because that's why his reach is. But anyways, it makes a slam attack with an attack bonus and bludgeoning damage determined by its size. And so I mean, basically,
would be my thing. I'm thinking, like, if you look in here where it says if the object is securely attached to a surface or larger object, such as a chain bolted to a wall, its speed is 0. So what if we did it like this? What if basically I could control something like this, but if he's holding it, it can't move away from him. It has to stay where he's holding it. Something like that.
I have an idea of how I would rule for that specifically, and it would involve essentially a strength check with some with some enhanced modifiers on your side, because it wouldn't be your strength rather, but the arcane ability you're using. So when it comes up in the inevitable idea that this does probably occur at some point, now that you have this idea, we'll deal with it then. But I think we would just if it's being contested,
we'll put some limitations on it from whatever's
just so that it's not it's not a
Makes
free
sense.
thing that you can just automatically do. But with
are you telling me that we can't
check.
go in a fight with 6 other guys who have weapons and have me just control all 6 of their weapons? Come on.
I mean, maybe for one attack, it just wouldn't be a permanent thing. So.
Yeah.
All right. So where we left off, as you guys see in the notes there. So that art there. Do you guys see the art in the book that I put on there?
I do.
That art. You guys recognize where that came from at all? Anybody?
Looks like
God of
War.
War.
God of War 3.
That's from God of War. Yeah.
3?
It's from the PS4 one, just the one that's just God of War. Anyways.
Then I'm wrong.
Sorry, hang on 1 second here. Oh, I might get interrupted also with work. So
Is that boy?
That's boy.
That is
That's yep.
Boy.
All right, hang on 1 second, guys. Right back.
All right, so
He's got to
feel
go
like-
into the boy.
I feel like we got a pretty good idea of what we're doing, right? We're gonna let Norak do some more talking. Norak, you're gonna try to be diplomatic.
Yeah, I mean, if he'll actually listen to us this time, since
Because I would
calm down.
I would love to get a group of fucking giants on our side to at least, maybe not like fight with us, but like not be our enemies.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, that whole village isn't too far away from here, so.
Plus, they can trudge through the snow pretty quick.
Yeah, we could ride them. That's a good idea, dude.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let us ride them, but I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Well, you can hop in his fucking pocket. You don't even got to worry about it. Man. He won't even
I mean, I could probably ride him. He wouldn't know it. Like I could just go invisible. But what if he goes the wrong way and I'm like trying to hitch on a car and get fucking thrown around?
Jump on a sled and they can tow us, Death Stranding style.
He goes to scratch his ankle and just tears me in half.
Okay, I've got an Amazon delivery that should be here any second now. I thought that was them, so we'll just we'll get started here real quick. But I'm gonna have to go grab that as soon as unless they put a mega rocket in. So let's see where we left off though. You had just killed, you knocked unconscious this frost giant from the Velg tribe outside this cave on the road towards Seartop. Let me go ahead and move us over to that. Oh, I should have preloaded it, so we'll give this a second to load here. Or Fox and Nazim were basically just stuck in the cave the entire time, or in the treehouse the entire time. Not a very exciting fight for them.
Worked nicely.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right, so where we left off, you guys, go ahead, you guys remember the gist of it, but the giant had slid down the slope a little ways. That is his resting place, but he is laying with his head further down the slope, with blood pooling out from wounds in his ankles and feet up towards his face down the slope.
That's right. He's got 0 hit points still. I just brought him conscious, so he's not, he's stable.
Yeah, he's
but
stabilized.
He's not going to wake up.
He won't
unless
bleed
we do
out.
something
Yeah,
else.
exactly. Yeah. He'll still for 8 hours, I think it is, and then he would wake up.
You guys-
Okay, well, I'll put healing word on Sai and tell her that if he agrees to help, she'll heal him.
Well, I
you
mean,
can
he
cast
can.
through her, so you'd be able to do that. Healing word is at range anyways, but you would have to get out of the bubble to do it.
No, don't even worry about it. I can...
like I'll just do it through side. That way, I still don't have to leave the bubble because I'd rather leave the treehouse up instead of having to redo the treehouse.
Well, here I can. Yeah, sure. I can also cast healing word on him, so we don't have to get super close. In case he wakes up all ragey.
Before we get there, where is the hammer? Norok, you were dragging it away, so go ahead and move yourself to wherever, what is representative of where you were moving the hammer to.
I don't even see the characters on the screen.
Yeah, they're not showing up. I think we lost vision for some reason on this map. We can see like the gray of the map.
Yeah, it looks like it's darkened out. Like we can't see it. Whatever.
Draw a square on the map, like a big one, just to cover a big area and see if it catches.
Oh, hey, there it is. Now we're there.
And then if you click your actor, you should be able to see the view. And there is the, not that kind of square, Sako. Sorry. I just meant the regular. Here, let me
I still can't see
what I mean. You guys are all drawing squares now.
Yeah, the top right one, the select
top
token
left
square.
Yeah, the select token one. So it looks like I didn't mean draw a square, like actually draw it. That was my fault. I totally understand exactly what you did, exactly what I said. But no, the one I'm referring to is just the token selection one. So if you...
You know what's funny? I'm still not on here. Only Pietro. Nora, I got Shok.
You're right underneath Pietro. You're right underneath Pietro's.
On your computer, I'm right underneath Pietro.
Oh, you're not seeing it? Okay.
I'm thinking our tokens got messed up from an update. Maybe we got to get dragged back on the map.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah, I'd say
I mean, I can actually drag myself back on the map, so I'm golden.
Yeah, you guys go ahead. Go ahead and just grab yourselves from the actor's token.
Although I do like that my token is me on a bird now.
Right click yourself, Justin, and then down at the bottom right you'll see the little picture with the
options. Cool.
Yeah, I made little separate ones for you guys, like when you're on the broom and shit like that. In fact,
so this is gonna suck, but it's actually on the correct selection. Let me try switching it around and see if it fixes it. There it goes. So you have to you have to go back and forth a few times to get to work right on that.
Yeah, it may have needed a toggle.
And don't forget to toggle, guys.
Becky, you said yours is good?
Yeah, mine loaded fine.
Okay.
So
mine's still gone.
Okay.
By the way, if you guys are curious, you guys do a great job of following the tech rules for this. My group has some trouble.
Oh, they like to fucking run around every goddamn corner, every wall. Like Justin has to constantly pause. I almost never have to pause for you guys, to keep you from running around, just because they like to tinker with shit that they're not supposed to.
I still have my icon up.
I'm gonna delete you off and then re-add you. So Becky, you're good. Ben, you need yours still, right? Okay, Ben, I saw you. Okay, you dropped yourself pretty much right where you were. You were almost in the exact right spot. Get you guys. Nazim and Arteme were up here in the cave still. Fox, you should be good now.
Okay.
Nazim, there.
I can see the other guys, so I'm good.
Let me fix you guys for the broom icon here. Oh, hang on 1 second. Sako, stop moving. Let me fix your icon so that you're using the right one.
Dang it. Almost stayed right.
There you go. By default, it puts you on the broom version instead of the other one.
Okay. I was like, my shadow looks weird. It looks like a broom.
Yeah, I put you. Oh, it's the token that I have of the broom, with you on the broom. All right, you should everybody good now, right?
Good enough.
Taco, Arteme?
Yep.
Cool. Taco?
Good.
All right.
There we go.
Let me see if I can get rid of these. Let me see if I can get rid of these squares that you guys drew. There's one that it won't let me delete. Interesting. The light blue, which is Fox.
Mine.
Damn it, Fox.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Ruining
Hey,
tech.
Fox, if you click back on your square button, and then you should be able to click on like the corner of the square where it has the icon, and then delete it. Or you might be able to select it using the select box where it says select tokens. It might let you click on the square and delete it.
Normally it would, but even my delete all
No, it's
deleted
not even
everybody
letting me
else's.
delete it.
Yeah, it's giving
Not
an
even
error
letting
message
me delete it.
It's okay. We're fine, guys. We're fine. We're just ignore the box.
It's not a big deal. Just it's not a real box there. It's just Fox is breaking the tech is all. All right.
Box. It's a box of
There's
Fox.
nothing new. The tech doesn't like me. It just breaks everything.
All right. He is here. All right. Let me go get my door. Be right back.
Yeah.
Alright, so I didn't think about this last time. I have comprehend language, so I can...
Yeah, fucking cast that
know
shit.
what he's saying.
Does it work on everybody? Wait, can we talk?
No, it's just self.
Darn it.
But I can translate at least.
Well, I mean, Norak can
So then-
translate. Unless we don't trust Norak.
The question is, will he translate?
Fucking
I think that
better.
is the question. Is will he translate?
He can, but will he?
I'm just gonna be all chillaxing over here. And if I... Oh, that's a bonus action, not a reaction. Darn it. Well, we'll bring it back to life. Not too back to life. We're not casting a spirit on him or anything. We're just gonna get a little back to life. And then hopefully Norak can tell him, you know, these are your options, man.
Yeah, if he acts up, you can use your spell to hit him with his own giant hammer.
Oh, I kind of want to kill him with vicious mockery, honestly.
Okay.
By now, I'm assuming a minute's passed, so your haste is gone.
Oh, we also have to tell Avar to not attack yet because we're still gonna try to negotiate.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Avar haven't told him the secret word, which is ginger snaps, and I cannot believe I fucking remember that shit from last week.
No, we had told him he could. I made his arrows flaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you
wasn't
did.
he waiting for the word ginger snaps?
We told it to him before he went unconscious.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that would be funny.
No, it wouldn't at this point. So
I
I'm
mean,
just going to bump the hold off.
Sure.
I'm back.
Welcome back. We're telling Avar to hold off on shooting the arrow yet.
But he was so excited to shoot his arrow. You guys are
Yeah.
going to even let him?
Fuck him.
All right.
Well, not right now. We're trying to negotiate again.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You don't want him shooting the
Things
giant
like that, he can
necroskeleton?
use the flaming arrow, but if they don't, well, we couldn't need him alive.
Because, I mean, he would flat out actually die, you know, because he's already unconscious on the ground, so. Especially if it's burning. All right. So, where's the hammer, G? Now that you're, you know, actually on the map here and can see.
I probably didn't get it too far away before Pogo animated it, so...
Well, I wasn't going to animate it yet. I'm actually going to wait until see if he tries to pick it back up and attack us, and then I'll use my turn to animate it if he does that. But I have a feeling we can probably get him. I'm feeling confident. We got you at the helm.
I would have just moved, obviously not going down on the downslope, but probably about 20 feet away or so. That way
Well, go ahead and move yourself so I know where you're at.
Okay.
I'm probably staying right about where I'm at. Entrance to the cave, kind of. Wouldn't have moved too much. Not like I can do much out here.
You moving yourself, G?
Yeah, probably would have been like
Okay, it's
right over there or so.
Okay. Okay, all right, cool. So I just wanted to make sure what kind of, you know, basic direction you were going. Let's see. In that case, then, Sarah, did you fly up further after? Didn't you go up a little bit higher?
No, I think I stayed at about 40.
But you were over here. Oh, that's why. You were back like in this area. Oh, you guys can't see my cursor. Back nearer to Pogo, like you know where Pietro is, right about there, somewhere in this area. And remember, this slope is a downward slope, so you're further from the ground, is what I'm saying. Remember?
Okay, so yeah, then I'd come down a little bit. I want to try and stay at 40 because she seems to be doing well at 40, and I don't want to test it.
40. I would say that by now she's become it was worse when you first started. Like it was only 20, 25 feet, something like that when you first started. But you've been on the room a lot more now, so there's a little more threshold since the safety has seemed at least a little more frequent. As long as you don't go too high. I think the last one was when you guys were to hawk upon when you're trying to fly across there, but.
Yeah, so she's just gonna stay at a nice even 40.
Okay. All right, let me update that real quick. Okay. So now that the scene is set and I know where everybody is, what's the plan?
Do you guys want me to just cast healing word real quick? We'll bring him back and we'll see what we can talk to about him. I don't want to go to water with a bloody bunch of giants if we can avoid it.
That's fine.
I don't want to
Do you
cast.
guys have decent vision out here?
Not really. Someone cast dark vision on me, so I can see, but I can still only see maybe 80 feet nicely.
You guys, can you see the circle? Because Arteme, I don't know if you guys remember, she threw. Okay, so you can see the circle of light, right?
Yeah, we can see out here. There's a circle of light.
Well, but on the map, you guys can see the circle of light too, right?
Yep.
Okay, because the giant is in the dim area. What's that?
Does that move? Can we move the circle of light?
You can't pick it up and move it because I casted it on the little stone thing I have on me, and I just threw that out there to you guys. Norok caught it, so Norok technically has it.
I thought it landed. He was talking. I think it just landed in the snow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's in the snow.
It's still on the surface enough that one of you could grab it if you so chose.
All right.
I will want that back.
Stop arguing about the light. Let's bring this man back to life for 7 hit points.
All right. You finish the necessary verbal incantation to him. You see that the wounds begin to stop, and there's kind of a rise in the chest as he begins to breathe in deeper, no longer unconscious. There's a fluttering beneath the eyelids as the eyelids start to kind of flutter open. He is kind of down, head down at like a 45-degree angle because he's laying on this slope where he'd crumpled into the snow. And he slowly begins to kind of stir, pulling one arm up under him and starting to kind of right himself. But it's a very awkward motion since he's, head downward on a slope.
All right, big man. You want to see if you can talk to your giant cousin for a minute? Tell us what he's saying, too. We're all curious.
All right, then I'm going to tell him we still would like to talk instead, if you're interested now. Yeah, obviously, in who shocked the giant.
There's
we can
rumbling.
Heal him up more if he needs.
There's a rumbling grunt of pain, mostly because he's starting to stand in this very awkward motion. Okay, so he's at 7 now. Yeah, because he was at 0. Right. As he's starting to right himself and trying to lean onto these ankles and his knees and ankles where most of the hits were aimed at, kind of clearly in pain as he grunts, and it sounds like it must have been words. Norok presumably would understand those, but nobody else could make head nor tails of what he said.
What's he saying, Norok?
Hang on, let me check.
Yeah, hurry it up. It's getting cold out here.
He immediately stands and sees that his hammer is being held by Norok and is charging Norok.
All right, well, when he gets close enough, I'm going to whack him again then.
Well, with these slow trades, well, Sarah's up in the air. She's up 40 feet, so she's got a good 25 feet of space between his head and her. As he charges towards Norok,
if I have time, I'll do non-lethal. Sorry to interrupt you. If I have enough time.
No, you're fine. He isn't trying to hit you. He is going to shove you. So it'll be a contested strength. So I can give you a strength check, and you're going to be You're going to be it would be normally an advantage. You're not raging anymore, actually. So no, it will be a disadvantage, because your rage is down. So you're going to be at disadvantage just because of the gargantuan size, because he's so much larger than you.
And whatever
check for him, disadvantage for you. I suppose it could have been advantage for me.
There's probably even more terrible shit too that's added onto that.
Well, you only got an 11, but you'll have the disadvantage from the whatever exhaustion. Oh shit! He rolled super low, and you still, considering his strength, he rolled really low, and you still didn't quite make it. He rushes towards you as you're trying, just kind of holding up the haft. The head of the hammer is still kind of half buried in the snow now, where you've dragged it up. But he just shoves you backwards. You'll be pushed back, not enough to injure you, but pushed back, away and kind of landing on your back as he grabs the hammer and is going to swing. He can't.
He could probably hit me. I'm on the ground.
Yeah, but you're just outside of his melee range. He is going to launch the hammer in your direction. Just throw it towards you. Go ahead and give me a dex save. It's kind of he's not proficient at throwing his hammer. It's not intended to be thrown.
Works for me. Dex save, and I gotta take a D4 off that.
So that's what I was telling you guys. The exhaustion things, I built it in, so it actually does it automatically.
Perfect.
Yeah, it automatically did it for you. You rolled a 4 on the D4, unfortunately. So, wait.
A 2.
Oh, it was +8. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
your dex save is high.
Big dex save.
It's not quite high enough for the throw, but enough to avoid at least some of it. What's the hammer normal damage? It won't be normal.
I'm also going to do Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
It's got a 60-foot range. So as he attacks me with his hammer, I still take the damage. But I'm
it's
going
normally
to go
3D. Okay, it's normally 3d12 plus 10, but it's only going to be 1d12 plus 10 for the kind of haphazard throw, especially with him injured. For 18 damage, you rolled a 10. No, he rolled an 8.
And he's got to do a dex save.
Okay. Ben, I think you tried to reply. He shoved you. You could still talk to him. Nobody else can understand what's happening here.
So he fails that.
And again, I'll just tell him to stop
He's
again.
right back down, probably. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah, no, I'm doing my reaction.
Yeah, he's right back to 0. All right, well, he's unconscious again.
And then as he dies, everybody else is like, "What do you say, Nora? Come on!"
Oh, then the rest of you that could see this, and I would say that Nazim and Arteme, you guys, standing inside. Remember, you're not standing at the floor of this cave. You're standing inside of the dome of the bubble of the treehouse, which is 10 feet off. So you guys have like a good angle to be able to now actually see at least a little bit of what's occurring outside. You did hear this giant shout and then rush and kind of a grunt as Norik was hit and pushed back into the snow, and then a pained grunt as the hammer was launched towards very injured Pogo from a hammer smash. But there's a flash of greenish fire as the giant is then enveloped in it and then crumples back into the snow.
He called you all lowlander rats, by the way. Well, I guess all of us.
What do you call us?
Lowlander rats. So.
Fuck this guy then.
Me,
I'm getting. For someone so wise, you'd think such a wise creature would understand when it was just can't do anything else.
That's true.
Do you know enough about these things? Are there going to be more of them? Is that how they work, or are they solitary creatures like T-Rex or something?
No, I mean he lives in a village town. He's most likely a scout out here. So if he doesn't report back after a while, there's probably going to be more friends coming this way. Of his.
There's a little bit more, Ben. I'm sending you a message. I just sent you one. I'm sending you another one.
Fucking mountains.
There were a pretty populous group from what I remember. So they probably number, I don't know, dozens, maybe hundreds in their village. So
dozens.
You might be mute, honey. I don't think we can hear you.
Yeah.
Sorry. So if we kill this guy, should we just stay here till morning, or are they going to show up like in the middle of the night like this guy did?
I don't know.
Probably look for him.
But I don't know if we would want to.
I say. Do we have any spell or something that could just, remove it from this plane? Just take this entire body away after we search it, of course, for something tasty. But I feel like he's got good cheese. I'm not sure of it, but I smell cheese. Could just be death. That could just be it too.
Could be that he shit himself.
That's what happens
when creatures die.
Perhaps they eat a lot of cheese and they shed himself, and now it's just cheese smell. That might be what I'm getting there.
That's gross.
To be fair, you are foot level.
Yeah, it's wafting. It's wafting to me. He probably has shites the size of me.
Well, I don't think it's really going to matter if his body is here or not, because if he doesn't report back, apparently they're going to come look for him. I'm assuming that they know to come here to look for him.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Sarah, from your elevated position, there is a lot of this kind of icy blue syrup splashed across the snow all over the place out here. This looks like a murder scene.
Also,
he's a very big creature that just bled buckets and buckets and buckets of his blue blood all over the snow here.
This is what we can do. All right, so we can't hide it. But here's the thing. Let's think this through. He would have stayed here all night, right? That's what they would have done. He would have done. And then so they're expecting him to come back tomorrow. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here now. So even if we stay here the night, I don't think they're going to think he's missing until tomorrow. And that might even be tomorrow midday. And we could get pretty far.
He was coming to scout out this cave exactly for someone to come into. I mean, how far is his village from here? This could be like a mid-stopping point for the group.
How many of these things could fit in this cave, Rav, DM?
2 at best. It would be like having they would be uncomfortable. Unless
Can I do a check to see if I think like that if I think that this would look like it could be, like if the chances of two giants in this would be slim. Like I don't know how, like, would Pogo think that this would be unlikely?
It's basically, see, because you're standing near enough to the body, and you've seen it now in a reclined post twice in two different, forms of it laying in the snow. So basically, kind of eyeing the math of that shape, two of them could fit in there, but they would have to be very close, and if they're like intimate levels of close to be able to both fit in a cave. In that cave,
I feel like unless he's planning on getting like a giant booty call, I can't imagine too many of these things fitting inside that cave.
Yeah, but they could be out on a hunt. If so, then he's just looking ahead for game. There could be more, obviously, than one or two others behind him if they're in a hunting party. They might be here before morning.
So Sarah's going to turn around and look from her vantage point.
Could we just put some type of an illusion, lock the door?
And I'm going to send illusion? Pietro up for a mile radius to look for giants in a mile radius.
Sarah, give me a perception check.
Hang on, is there trees out there?
Yeah.
Or is it just like ice?
No, it's a alpine. Consider it a heavily forested alpine mountain. Essentially, there's trees everywhere.
Okay.
It's almost all forested.
In that case, I am going to move over here and drop down off of the broom and send Noctua out in between the trees and look through her eyes.
Okay.
See if she can see them like in the trees.
Okay. If you're going to be just sitting in the snow like that, you're very rapidly getting very cold. I would say that, especially now that the blood is cooling. Interesting. I'm not seeing that on its WebGL. Are you trying to play it from a different machine,
nope.
Justin?
Same
you're playing
system.
it from your normal machine?
Yeah, so it's seems like every 5 or 6 minutes the map just kind of disappears. Like I can still do everything else, and then if I want the map back, I just have to hit refresh.
Anybody else getting that?
Like a weird arrow map?
No.
Okay. I'm seeing an on-load WFF. I don't know what that is. It's an input element of some sort that is failing. It's failing every few minutes here. It's probably that because the cadence lines up with what you're describing. I expect that'll probably go away when we change maps. So,
perfect.
But as long as it's not interrupting anything for now, we'll continue as is.
Who votes?
Well, real quick, hang on. So Sako said something, and I think Ben said something after that too. And Sarah said something, and then Sako, and then I think Ben. So let's just go through those so that we can get everybody, a moment to discuss what their suggestion was. Sarah, you being in the snow like that while you're sending Noctua off is going to very rapidly get very cold.
That's what I was going to ask. If I float just above the snow, would I feel stable enough not having my eyes? Just like
go in the cave. Just go right in the cave. Go in the comfortable area. We've got a whole thing set up.
Yeah, that's going to be really dicey.
Stop trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, that would probably create a lot of vertigo. Trying to float and hold on still without being able to use your own senses of where you are, because the bird flying would be its own motions. So,
right,
so you're going to go in there and then just get off of the broom. Is what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just send Noctua out.
Okay, then we'll come back to that. Go ahead and give me a perception check with from Noctua with disadvantage because of the density of the snow. You guys
advantage.
Okay, right, then a flat roll.
Just flat.
Yep. So then you guys you guys are kind of separated a little bit. So at least Arteme, and I would say Sarah, since you approach here, Nazim mentioned that is there any, can we create some kind of an illusion? So Sako, go ahead. Whatever your thought was there.
Oh, I was just going to say, is there any way we can create some type of an illusion to block the door or hide the door, so if someone does show up, they don't see the entrance, and we can just use the cave as a, just a place to stay for a moment, and of course the tauntaun warmth of a troll for the night.
You're gonna drag the body up into the cave?
I don't have anything that would do that.
Neither do I. I can make plants grow in front of it, but that's about it.
And Pogo probably can't hear you, but you probably know Pogo well enough to know that he can't do anything like that either. But never mind.
I think Fox actually does have a very specific spell, but I'm almost certain she doesn't have it prepared. Literally, it's like the exact kind of spell that would be
called Hide Cave.
It's called hallucinatory terrain.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and you literally create an illusion of terrain, so it's exactly what Sako's referring to. But I can't imagine that Arteme has it prepared.
No, it's not. I read through most of the spells, but I haven't gotten through all of them yet.
Yeah, that's one of those like super useful in very rare circumstances, but it's like the ideal spell in those rare circumstances. So
yeah, like if you happen to be fighting near a cliff, or if there's a bridge,
exactly.
or there's a lot of things that it could be good for.
Yeah. All right, Ben. I think you said something after Nazim's suggestion. Did you say something?
I was just telling Nazim that might work, but also we'd have to be definitely careful though too, because the giants know this mountain pretty well, so they probably know roughly where that cave is. They might be a little suspicious if the entrance is just missing. So it might be worth a shot. I don't know.
All right, a couple of minutes have passed. Anybody that's outside the cave, you are getting to the point where you're going to start getting cold very soon. So.
Two things. I was going to send Pietro out for do his little mile sweep around us and to report back if he sees anything, and I will also do that as normal for the roll.
Does he also have advantage? Okay, yeah.
So yeah, he's just only got 11. Okay. And then I am going to see if there is anything on this giant that looks like some sort of belongings, like a small pouch of perhaps gold or whatever they use for currency. If there's anything that could be of value that I can carry, that I can physically even carry.
There's no coinage or anything that looks, directly like it would be currency, or a replacement for currency.
And I'm also not looking terribly hard because I'm also want to get in the cave before.
Yeah, I would say that you're starting to shiver by now. Exactly. Yeah, because if you're trudging through the snow, that's starting to melt into your boots and everything. It's going to be very cold very fast. You don't find anything in even getting to pockets is having to clamber over, a body that is much, much larger than you even. So getting to individual pockets takes, a good bit. And then, even your arm is the depth of the pocket. So you have to pretty much go like elbow deep or shoulder deep rather just to get to the bottom of a pocket. You do find a pouch, which is a sack that is about your size. That feels like there's something rattling inside of it, like small things rattling inside of it. You guess just by the nature of the situation, you gather this is probably its equivalent of currency, but what it is, you'd have to be able to pull the bag out and check, which is going to take you a minute.
No, I'm just going to yell at Norok, hey, there's a bag might have stuff in it. And then real quick, because I'm not going to waste my time with that, I'm going to take my elven short sword. Actually, I probably don't need to. There's blood everywhere. I'm just going to use some of this blue blood to fill up my little jar of blood for my other thing that I need. And then I'm going to run my tiny little feet into the cave.
Okay.
As quickly as possible.
Yeah, as long as you guys are kind of, making time,
no.
or making your way in.
And I'm going to give Fox a big hug for keeping the place warm inside the bubble. Oh, this is the best. This is so much better.
Choke makes his way back to the entrance of the cave. There's still at least a little, way out of the biting wind. What's Norok doing, G?
Yeah, I guess I'll head that way too.
Okay. I'll move Pietro off and move.
So is the giant just still out there?
Yep.
Yeah, we need to figure out.
He's slowly, as you guys can see, from, what vantage you can see, he's not sliding any further, but he is started. Well, he's about half covered in snow at this point. For the couple of minutes.
Alive?
No. He's unconscious. Yeah, I mean he's bleeding out. He'll likely, if you guys don't do anything, he's going to be dead. In a few seconds.
Okay, I'm going to send Sai to use healing word on him so he doesn't actually die, and then come back.
Okay, right. Healing word. Remember, healing word doesn't just stabilize him. He will stand up. He'll be alive. He'll be like up and ready to attack you guys again.
Okay, hang on.
So the difference is basically feet away. How far away is he?
I mean, grab your.
I'm going to.
Okay, then
I'm going to ready
words through cure words or cure wounds. Sorry, through Sai then.
Well, either of those. Basically, he's at 0 hit points. If he gets to 1 hit point, he stands up and he is fully alive.
I'm gonna just ready vicious mockery if he's within.
Norok, did you? Okay, Norok, did you grab the light, the rock? Or are you leaving it? Okay.
Yeah, because I would have noticed that that's what was illuminating it, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Arteme shouted at you to let you know that it was, that she was throwing it out there anyways, which is when you were able to see, so you would have recognized it. All right. Well, if anything, it means that the light's on you, technically, so you could, carry it with you or cover it, but, I would tell you, all you guys would see that Arteme is about to send Sai out to go heal him.
Okay, well then I've got a firebolt ready if he starts charging the cave. Oh no, I can't see shit.
I can see also, and I should have enough time. I'm gonna she's gonna do that. When I see Sai going, I'm gonna get out of the bubble and stay near the bottom, just in case. But I don't know what's happening now, so I'm just gonna ready my vicious mockery in case this thing starts charging at us.
I'll just ready my weapon again.
Okay.
In case it comes.
All right.
Stay at the entrance with Shogun.
All right, Arteme, you're sending Sai to go heal him then, or are you just doing healing word? Okay. All right, let me grab Sai real quick. Although actually, at her size, she would be. You
wouldn't even notice
yeah,
it.
she'd be a mouse. You know, she'd completely not even recognized in the snow.
She's also silver, so she would like blend in with the snow.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Norak, how do you say you're a cunt in Giant?
I'll tell him.
Stop being a cunt. Yeah, tell him that. Stop being a cunt in Giant. Tell him that. Make sure he understands it in the dialect.
No, I'll be happy to tell you how to say that if you want to. But well, he'll probably get even more pissed off if you tell him.
Well, in the middle of this conversation, as you guys discussing how to say cunt in Giant,
I'm going to tell him what it is, so he can say it for us.
The giant slowly begins to stand again. Now, like burned away, half the flesh on his face is just is kind of melted, and like he's struggling to see. One eye doesn't really have.
I'm just gonna yell out
as he stands up. He roars back in Lurg again. Well, yeah, it would still be. At this point, it might be kind of too on it because his face is also fucked up from the melting from the hellish rebuke. That it may not sound. It might sound like gibberish even to Norak, is what I'm saying. Because he's been knocked unconscious twice and is like had clearly a bad day. But between the gibberish, it's you probably get a couple of words out of that I just sent you, but that was the intent, and you know that's what he's shouting, but you probably only got actually a couple of words of that.
Can you tell him that we're not actually trying to kill him? We're just defending ourselves.
Well, you have a second here because he's rushing forward, grabbing the hammer out of the snow that he threw at Bogo.
I'll just tell him one more time that it doesn't have to be like this. We actually can talk. We might as well just talk.
Tell him we can kill the dragon together.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to mention that and say I think we have a.
Just tell him we're literally just defending ourselves here. Like, we're not trying to actually kill him.
Yeah, I've already told him that more than once. So.
There's another shout, and he holding the hammer. He slings the hammer up over one shoulder and just reaches his left arm out to try to grab Norak. It'll be
and my ready vicious mockery.
Oh yeah. Well, he's gonna do this. Oh shit. I clicked.
He can try a
DC 18 deck save. G.
Okay.
And that's it. We're not killing him again. We kill him twice. That's plenty.
You guys, now that he's up near the mouth of the cave, you can kind of get a better appreciation of just how tall, how gargantuan this thing is. Because now that he's kind of closer to the same elevation as you. Do you even know who that is, Sako?
It doesn't
Critical Role. Yeah, that's from the thing.
That's from Critical Role. That's Sam from Critical Role.
A failure. Oh, troll.
He reaches down.
I'll use my ring again. He can't do it.
Come on, you definitely can't use it back to back like that.
No, that actually is true. That's not fair.
Isn't it? Isn't there no limitation?
It doesn't say limitation, but you're right though. That wouldn't be fair, and it might actually be fun to go for a ride. So I'm gonna. Yeah.
It doesn't specify. I'm gonna go ahead and tell. Okay, so tell you what. He's going to obviously see that as resistance at hostility, but it doesn't specify that you can't, and you still have 2 charges left on it. So it's up to you if you want to go ahead and use it, or if you don't want to.
No, I mean actually at this point, I don't even know if Norak would even worry about it because there's not a whole lot of threat level here anymore, at least at the moment.
Okay.
So he ain't gonna kill me. Well, hopefully at least with 1 throw. So I'm gonna go for a ride.
Yeah,
I'll see you guys in a minute.
Yeah, you're barely injured, so you might have some walking to do. But the giant reaches down with his left hand, just kind of palms over your shoulder and kind of thumb onto your chest, and fingers over your back, and just flings you over his shoulder, like kind of left it without even looking backwards. He just flings you down the slope. It is 60 feet in direction of the giant's choice, landing prone and taking 1d6 for every 10 feet it traveled. So it'll be 66 is, yeah, I guess it's all, yeah, it's not that far. You'd be, falling a little bit further, but 60 feet from where he is isn't that bad anyways. It's only like further down the map a little ways. Although you can't see real well, so it is going to be, difficult for you to see yourself in this, or find your way back in the snow. You can actually see the light source.
Light, though?
Oh, that's true. You did pick it up, yeah. So you do have a big glowing radius around you if you choose to use it.
And you can at least see to the cave.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can still see the light coming from the mouth of the cave anyways, although there's a silhouette of the giant covering it. But as he flings the Norok backwards and goes to unsling the hammer off of his shoulder, what is the mockery coming from Giuseppe?
It's a saving throw of DC 17. You look like a blueberry popsicle with steroids.
I think he's supposed to have advantage, but, well, natural 1. Natural 1 for that, or a 15, so it's fail. Even with advantage, he still fails. So go ahead and roll your damage, yeah. Which is enough. He only had 5 hit points, so he is back to 0 again.
Yeah, did you see what I did to that man? I ruined his fucking life with my words, and then I climb back in my little bubble.
He collapses forward, just like right into the mouth of the cave. Like his head is almost into the mouth of the cave. Shulk has to jump backwards to, not be hit by his shoulder as this thing falls. Norok, who got flung through the air, getting a mouthful of snow as he goes sailing through the sky, landing into the snow.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Shulk and be like, are they always this stubborn?
There's a very careful nod from him, because you can't verbally reply. Ben, it is 17 damage. You can ignore that was Shulk, but it was 17 damage you take from the fling. But you are now standing beside the body, third time unconscious. We're going to, you guys, if you're, well, he's going to keep bleeding out is what I'm saying, and there'll be a point at which he can't anymore.
I'm at this point, he's not too far away. I'm going to walk up to him, and I'm going to start just stabbing him in the neck with my fucking sword, just stabbing over and over.
Anybody want to heal him real quick while Pogo's standing over?
No, we're done. We've done this. We've played this game with this man.
We'll go ahead and say that now that he's already in bad enough shape as it is that you can, pretty easily. It takes you a minute because his skin is pretty thick and the sword isn't very long, so you got to carve through a jugular for a little while.
Okay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to kill like something extremely huge with like a toothpick.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one else seems willing to do it, and I just don't. I'm getting sick of having to put it down.
Okay, I'm going to use a healing word on him this time.
On who? On who?
Is Sarah awake yet? Like, can she see what's happening?
Well, okay, so both the Pietro, I guess it kind of depends on how long you would have Pietro
in the air.
Noctua out flying
around.
Yeah, but Sarah's doing the same thing with Noctua, so I guess it kind of depends on how long you would have them scouting like that.
I mean, I'll have him do it for a long time.
How far up the mountain are we?
You're a little under a third of the way to Sear Top.
No, I mean from the bottom.
1 day in. So you're a third of the way up and 2/3 of the way from the top.
I'd probably have her... Oh, God. I don't know. I guess 5 minutes. Have her out there. Unless somebody shakes me awake, I'm going to be...
Okay. I would shake her awake.
Well, it hasn't been 5 minutes yet of you guys, deciding whether or not this whether the troll is going to actually die or not.
Yeah, no.
Are you? Because Pogo is beside the body. If he wakes up again,
I'm basically on the body, carving through its neck.
Yeah, Pogo's going to.
I'm going to tell Pogo to get back in here.
I don't want it to come back again. I'm getting tired of this. He just threw Norok 60 feet down the hill.
Well, Norok's had time to trudge his way back up. He's beside the body now.
Okay, I'm going to tell Norok to grab Pogo and bring him inside.
Nope.
Well, I mean, because he's it's an automatic critical because it's a melee attack and he's already on the ground. So you would have had time to finish that. You said that long enough before. Arteme, you cast the healing word, expend the nature energies necessary to do so, as you see Norok's face kind of appearing in the mouth of the cave, and there's no response. The giant is dead.
Great.
He covered in giant blood now, just going to go back in the the hole back in the little thing and sit down.
With Pogo, yeah, Pogo just covered head to toe, like literally like he was swimming in it, because he was carved. Like it's an automatic critical fox, so anytime if you melee an unconscious body, and he had 12 seconds is all he would need to hit it twice. So
Okay,
why are you trying to bring it back to life? Why would you do that?
Because killing a giant with their village nearby is an even bigger problem than the dragon, because now we're going to have to avoid giants and a dragon.
Kiowa kept trying to kill us multiple times, and we kept bringing him back to life multiple times. And here's the thing. If he's dead here, that's a problem. But what if we brought him back to life again, and he just leaves and goes back to his village? Do you really think he's going to be like, all right, guys, we should never mess with these? No, he's going to bring all of them back right now. There's no way he wouldn't. That man is insatiable for the bloodlust of a halfling. He wants to put me in his fucking mouth. Do you see it? Drooling. No way. I'm done with this man.
Okay, but if a giant's skin is like really thick, how would he have hit through it with a toothpick?
it's a magic sword. It's an elven sword.
By the way, as a human, I have hurt myself with a toothpick. So, if anyone's curious, that's where I stand.
Yeah, I mean the AC, like the skin isn't rhino hide or anything. It's still skin, and with some effort, and he actually rolled really high on both attack rolls. So, actually, the first one was 25. Okay. Oh, why is this? Oh, the second one was damage. Never mind. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I'm just gonna sigh, and then now we need to find someone else to spend the night.
No, I said.
So it's already 4 a.m. You guys were halfway through the rest about. So actually, Arteme, you would have finished your long rest by now. You haven't had time to do any spell preparations and stuff. That takes the other 4 hours. But you have finished the long rest portion of it as far as the getting your spells back and stuff. Although actually you did that before all the spells you just cast. So the healing words and everything else you've done since the giant attack here, keep those gone, I guess. But other than that, you have your long rest.
So we're going to wait a few minutes. Pietro is going to fly around. He can look for a mile around. He might be able to see something. And I'm guessing our sleepy friend here, she's doing her owl business somewhere around here. Is that what's going on?
Yep.
I'm just sitting in the tree, just can't see or hear anything.
Yeah. So if she's doing that, and we'll see if there's nothing around us for a decent amount of space. I mean, I say we still try to get a night's sleep. I mean, it's going to take 6-7 more hours.
But you guys said that the more giants are coming, right? Do you want me, like, I can stay up. I'm not as tired as you guys are. I can stay up and I can watch, make sure they don't get us.
Yeah, I think the problem is we're going to need a little bit more of a time than just us seeing them when they show up. So I appreciate it, but not sure it's going to be a great help.
I don't think I could sleep anyway if there's giants coming to get us.
Well, if Norik said that was a scout, so there might be more on the way. Which is
Ben,
the issue.
I'm moving you further into the up there a bit, assuming you're going in to talk with everybody, unless you're doing anything with the body.
Well, how about we do it democratically? Anyone who thinks we should leave now, raise your hand.
Sarah doesn't raise hers.
Oh yeah.
I can't hear anything, so I don't know I don't even know that you guys even brought him back.
Sarah doesn't count. Sarah doesn't count.
Yeah, that he's closer to the cave.
Yeah,
right.
come back to the body's move somehow.
Question. Can the giants break through my treehouse?
No.
It's going to be the question here.
No, this thing's solid. As a father once said, this is not going anywhere. As I patted on the side.
Huh?
You never heard that? It's a dad thing. You gotta grab the thing that's like you just tie down and just be like, that's not going anywhere. Otherwise, it'll fly off.
Okay.
No, but seriously, can a giant literally just break through it?
No, it's secure.
Because I know it's a magic spell, but spells have limits to what they can handle.
Don't you have descriptions in your little book there?
Yes.
In fact, actually, this one she actually does. All of her normal spells are in her head, but this one is a ritual that she learned from a mage in the desert, and it is scribbled into a book, like a regular wizard spell.
Yeah, see if you read it. I bet it says it's just totally impenetrable. I've seen these before in my travels. I was once at a small town where I was courting a young tiefling girl, and she actually learned a spell similar to this, and we stayed there all night, and the next morning half the town was attacking us with pitchforks and arrows, and not a single one got through. She's probably fine.
What's Nazim doing, Taco?
Okay, but the other issue is even if it stands, but there's like a ton of giants out there, we're stuck in the cave.
Absolutely.
Nazim?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What are you doing?
Well, we are going to leave him dead now. Are we going to rest up tonight, or is this
That's
the next
the discussion.
So the question is, should we rest here for the night? It's already 4 a.m., so it's going to be like a while. You know, there's always a chance that there might be more giants, even though the cave is very small.
There's no way out of this cave, right? This cave just ends. It's just like a small cave, right?
So we stay in the cave.
If giants show up and surround the cave, we have nowhere to go.
Yeah, or we leave tonight. What do you want to do? Stay in the cave or leave tonight? Leave right now in the blistering cold.
I'd vote to go make a treehouse somewhere else that we could actually escape from.
That works for me.
Do remember, though, that Arteme has already told you guys that there is a blizzard
there's
very
also going to be a
rapidly
blizzard
approaching.
coming, so that's another issue.
I mean, I could probably attack our way out of a blizzard more than I can attack our way out of a group of giants. So if I had to choose, I'll choose the snow.
Ben, I can hear you talking through Becky, yeah. So.
Okay, wait, can the giants move through the blizzard safely? Like, are they... Or would it also slow them down?
I mean, they're not going to be able to see much, but they're probably still walking through it okay. Something tells me that that thing made of ice probably doesn't give a shit about the snow. Like, I feel like they live in it. He's like a husky.
It's not going to bother that much.
No.
You're still not coming through.
Yeah, I can hear you through Becky, but...
But no, I'm fine with that. Should we just pack up, walk our way through this blizzard the best we can, get... I don't know how far we're going to get. It is not better.
Because the issue is, it's an unnatural cold, and there's a natural blizzard coming. There's the dragon energy, plus maybe a village full of giants coming after us. So that's a lot of like very bad things here.
You
okay?
also one other thing to point out, guys, just so that everybody has the full information here. If you don't finish the rest, you're not going to get the exhaustion recovery, and you'll have to start a long rest all over again. Basically,
true too.
So for a long rest, you can interrupt it for like a fight, but you need to go right back to sleep. If there's more than, I think it's an hour or whatever, I'll look at the actual rule. I think it's 1 hour of activity, then it breaks the long rest, and you have to start it from the beginning again, which means another 8 hours. Go ahead.
This sounds just like a really bad situation here.
Yeah, it's not great. So we're not going to have a lot of time to walk through this, but I'm fine if you want to just make our way through this. We can bundle up as much as we can. We can wait till we can wake Sarah up. Maybe we can turn into some creatures that aren't going to be affected so badly from the cold, and maybe we can start making our way north, or whichever the direction we're supposed to be heading. We find a place that has some trees. We put that there, and then worst case scenario, even if the giants find us, we will at least not be stuck in a small cave. Make sense?
That does make sense, but the likelihood of finding a big enough tree to put the treehouse under to not get literally avalanche or snowed in once the treehouse disappears is another problem, which is why we set it up here in the first place. Which means I'd have to actually make a huge tree to be able to make the treehouse underneath that tree so we didn't get snowed in.
There are plenty of gargantuan trees on this mountain. There's a lot of big trees out here, so.
Okay.
They're conifers.
Ben, I actually heard. Yeah, I can hear you now. Looks like you're good now, G.
Alright, good.
And it is just for heads up on that rule. It is if it's interrupted for more than 1 hour of physical activity, then you have to start over again. Yeah.
And the 1 hour does fighting also?
Fighting would meaning
I know it hasn't been an hour, but
exactly the fight hasn't been an hour, but you guys need to be as long as you're not active now and you go back to sleep, you'd be fine. If you get up and move camp, that's going to take more than an hour. Well, unless you just go right outside the cave or something like that. So
yeah,
is there a big enough tree in the area? in like a 10-foot radius.
Why would that matter? What you
We
can't.
don't have, so we can just
Because we want to be away from the
Not
blood
outside.
and like the really crappy scene.
Give me a survival check, Arteme, with advantage. Sako, what is Nazim doing? You've been quiet this whole time. I'm trying to make sure you're still aware of what's happening and involved here.
Yep. My vote was to do the full rest, but I'll go with majority rule.
23. Yeah. This snow is very light powder, and you're going to leave a trail no matter where you go.
Okay.
I'm saying Arteme would recognize that, and that if you follow to a tree, you're going to leave a clear path, not just the blood, but even just walking through the snow. Now that will get covered over in time, but if you aren't particularly careful about covering your tracks, you're going to leave a trail right to wherever you go.
Okay, so I would actually actively be behind people using like something to cover our tracks while we go.
You totally can. I just wanted to point that out so that you guys, keep that in mind as well. That Arteme would recognize that, as a potential threat if you're trying to be, show subterfuge.
Yeah. Okay. So I vote we find a big tree and go there. That way, if giants do come, we at least have an escape route because I don't want to be stuck in the cave with a village of giants outside trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Is that the plan?
Yep.
All right. What we'll do...
all huffy.
So if that's the case, then that means that Nazim and Pogo outvoted by the other, 3 against 2 for the group here for what to do. What I'm going to do then is initially this wasn't supposed to be one of the skill checks, but this does have potential ramifications if, so as Nork has told you that there's almost certainly other giants out here, so if they find you, that's going to be a problem.
Which is why I was trying to not kill that one. I
totally understand it. I get exactly what's happening here. What I mean is that I'll go ahead and count this as one of the skill checks, because remember, you guys still need 3 more successes before 2 more failures. So tell me what you guys want to use, who's going to do the roll, and what the check is going to be to try to kind of uproot camp and find another spot.
I think I'm out of the running to use a skill because I think I used my skills last time, right?
You did perception.
You used 2 in a row, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Somebody used 2 in a row, so you can't again.
Yeah, exactly. Nazim used perception and Arcana. So Nazim is completely out. He can't do it. So Pogo's done 1. Arteme and Nork have done... Okay, so everybody's done 1 except for Nazim. So Nazim can't do it, but anybody else can.
Okay, well, wouldn't it be a nature or survival check to be able to move camp?
And up to you guys. If you can make a reasonable explanation for me, that's what you guys have done so far. F's are failures, so the F Pogo Acrobatics was the only failure you guys have had. That was the
then we got blown
explosion.
Up.
Yeah. The S's are successes. So, anyways, you can't use those same skills. So Sarah can't try to persuade her way to another camp, but the rest of them, you guys can use a different skill that you haven't already used. That's all.
What about?
Well, wouldn't it be a survival check to be able to find it and go there and just set it up?
Up to you. If you guys can make a decent argument, you can use. If you can tell me how you're going to use persuasion to get a camp, then that'll be fine.
How far are we going to go to try to? No, how far distance wise do you want to go? How far away?
About. Okay. Well, we're trying to make it. I'm trying to find a spot to where I could redo the ritual that's within an hour's. So hopefully within a 10-15 foot radius of here, just find a big tree to put the treehouse under.
So basically, no matter what, even if the giants come back to this cave, they're going to see us.
10 to 15 feet, Fox, would be
outside the cave. It's basically
that'd be literally right here,
where the dead body is.
Yeah.
So
less the body's further away. The body's 30 feet. So.
Okay.
I assume you mean further than that, Fox?
Yeah, I don't mean from the cave itself, but I mean go outside the cave and then
Well, that'd be this tree over here, which is still, that's the closest tree, and that's still literally right next to the body. But I mean, either way, you can find trees that are within enough time that if you finish the ritual or walk to it, finish the ritual, and so on, it's just a matter of the closer you are to the cave, the easier it's going to be to find you.
Okay. What's the kind of furthest place we'd be able to go while still being within an hour's travel distance?
It's not just the hour's travel distance. Also, that when you get there, you have to put the ritual for the tree, which is another 10 minutes, 10 or 11 minutes.
Yes.
So, I mean, at best, you can walk for maybe 30 minutes, and you're doing this, and still very dark. I'd
still use like my light cantrip, so we'd have enough light to be able to go. So within a half hour's distance to where I could put the tree, and then we could just go back to sleep.
Yeah, Ben, you were trying to say something a minute ago. What were you trying to say?
I was just going to say, I don't know if this would be applicable, but what if we did a stealth check to try to move without, leaving tracks and stuff like that, so they don't quite see. And then if I have time, maybe I can push the body and make him start sliding down the hill like a fucking snowball or something. And hopefully the blood will get covered by snow, some at least. So, but what do you think? Would a stealth check be fair for that? Trying to quietly move, Or I guess not leaving tracks. We don't really need to worry about sound, I guess, right now. But, or somebody covering the tracks. Would a stealth roll work for that?
Okay, but who's proficient in stealth?
I'm proficient in stealth. If you guys want, I can go ahead and I can actually levitate for a while as well, but I'm going to be fucking cold. So do you expect me to just fly around for 30 minutes while we're walking, covering people's tracks? I can do it, but I'd
use the broom and cover the tracks using the broom, just floating off that.
All right. I'm pretty good at stealth, though. I know how to cover tracks. Pretty good at it.
Yeah, okay. as far as keeping off of the snow, right? Because Sarah's got the broom. Sarah and Artemis can both be on the broom, really. Nazim can levitate on his own. Bogo can levitate on his own. So it's just Norok, Shok, and
so we might be able to make.
Wait! Hang on. We might actually not have to because I have a spell called Pass Without Trace. And how many people can you stealth, Pogo? We wouldn't really need stealth.
Can I stealth? I can stealth. I can do one stealth check. I don't know. So
he didn't mean by magical sense.
You can go. You can cast it. You can cast that spell on all of us, and then we can stay in a group as close as we can for that spell to work. And as we walk, I will cover up the tracks as we go using my impeccable abilities of stealth. And we will go for 30 minutes. Can anyone cast something on me to make me warm while I'm doing this?
I was just going to ask Jeremy, so could I tweak one of my spells a little bit?
Oh, no, okay. This is what I'm thinking of using. We wouldn't leave any tracks with it. That's the whole point.
Pass Without Trace doesn't leave tracks?
Yeah, it doesn't leave tracks. So we'll do this. We'll walk, find a tree in the next 30 minutes in the direction we have to go, and then I'll put the treehouse back.
I'm going to be honest.
Go back to sleep.
It might be a lot faster still to fly or levitate, especially for me since the snow out there is up to my tits.
Well, okay, so just to again remind everybody the state of things here, Shok, Norok, and Avar don't have other means of floating themselves unless you guys provide them with it. If Artemis does use Pass Without Trace, it does. There's no tracks left behind, so It doesn't mean you couldn't do both. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. How many people can Sarah polymorph?
I can polymorph. I can turn into a... I mean, if you want, I could polymorph and turn into a... we could polymorph, turn into two big, what are those, woolly mammoths, and then we could just ruin that corpse. And maybe they'll think there's a couple woolly mammoths ruin that frost giant.
Just imagine like the blood trail of you walking with the blood on the fur and the feet.
And then everyone can ride on the two woolly mammoths.
The problem is do they hunt woolly mammoths?
Probably.
I mean, they're big guys.
Yeah, they definitely hunt woolly mammoths.
They probably do.
So, I mean, if we use
Pass Without a Trace on the woolly mammoths.
Yeah. Then we won't
It doesn't make any sense. So the woolly mammoth just magically appeared here?
There's mammoths on this mountain.
I'll walk around in a circle. I'll make it look like I was walking around as a mammoth because it was a mammoth, and then you cast Pass Without a Trace, and then on our footsteps walking away, no footsteps. We can do it, walk plenty far enough that we need to. Everyone can ride us. You can be warm and cuddle next to our fur. This is perfect,
I'm going to tell you guys that about 20 minutes has passed at this point of you guys having this discussion since the body fell, which means that you guys need to get moving quickly or you're going to run past that hour threshold and have to start a long rest over again.
Okay, can we just please go?
I'm going to go ahead and cast
if that's your
polymorph on
guys'
myself.
plan, yeah. If you
outside.
hang on, before you do anything. If this is your guys' plan, that's totally fine. Go ahead and write out tell me what the plan is going to be. But remember, it has to boil down to a single skill check. So what is that going to be? Also,
I will do intimidation as a. I'm going to use when I polymorph. I'm going to do intimidation to try to make this a gory, bloody scene to where it's going to be make all the other giants terrified of what happened here with this group of mammoths that attacked the giant and did not even try to find them.
Because woolly mammoths are hunters now.
Well, this one is. We've got a rabid woolly mammoth on the loose.
There we go. I like that, dude. There we go.
If that's what you guys want to go with, is that it?
If I want to put up the treehouse within the time limit, you have like 3 seconds to decide what you're gonna do, and actually 3 minutes to do it before we have to leave.
Do you want to keep arguing about it? Do you want to just keep having the conversation?
Well, Sarah,
I'm just gonna start running out of the cave, and you see a giant woolly mammoth.
Yeah, as soon as Pogo is outside,
and I'm gonna start tearing apart this creature, just ripping into it with my stomping on it and stabbing it with my tusks, and I'm gonna start running around in the snow. Like, I'm going to run down the hill, run back up the hill, and charge it, and just try to pick it up and slam it against the tree, and throw blood up against the walls of the cave. And then I'm just going to stand outside the cave.
Woolly mammoths, because I used the twin spell, so I will also be one, so we can carry more people.
Okay, so that makes
Pogo
who's the?
Well, I can do it on my own.
Pogo did it himself, so Pogo and you,
have that now.
And then there's one more.
Okay, well then, does anybody else want to be a woolly mammoth?
Well,
Nazim?
Or no?
Nope.
Nazim has the most trouble with the cold, so.
Yeah, remember, Artemis is going to cast Pass Without the Trace on us afterwards.
So I'm not going to cast the spell, and then we're going to go.
Yep.
All right, so then me and Nazim will be woolly mammoths.
You guys, okay, guys, hold on 1 second here real quick. Everybody keeps talking over each other, and I appreciate that everybody's really excited and animated. That's great. That's exactly what we want. But Sako has said like 3 words the entire game, and I want to give him a chance to, be involved here. So with the discussion of who's going to be woolly mammoths, I suggested Nazim, but Sako didn't get a chance to say yes or no, and I want to let him at least consent if he's going to be an animal for a little while.
I think we've tried it without the woolly mammoth, without being warm for a while, and I think I was okay. But
you got at least 2 levels of exhaustion from being cold when you were like not attached to the mammoth. When you got attached, like when you kind of went into the mammoth fur, you were better. But that's not what specifically is occurring now, though. Sarah was offering to turn you into one so that the cold won't be kind of an issue for a little while. You'd be polymorphed into a mammoth instead.
Yeah, and that'll also solve the footprint problem, too.
Yeah, well, at least Arteme is going to prevent footprints, too, so that won't be a problem either.
Yeah, as long as I can jump out of it whenever I need to.
Yeah.
You
cannot.
I thought he could.
Nope. You have to do it for him. Yeah, no, the only way to revert is if you revert it or if you lose concentration.
All right, well then I tell you what, I won't be a mammoth. It'll just be Nazim, and then you can tap me with your trunk when you're ready to not be.
You're not going to twin it then? Then you can go ahead and take back the twin.
Yeah, no, I took that back. Because if we have 2 woolly mammoths, that should be enough to carry everyone, right?
Yeah. Including, Norok could walk, but you guys, there's enough space if one of them go on each mammoth. All right.
I'm using my trunk to knock on the thing while they're still talking and
try to get people moving. All right. So with that decided, then I'm just trying to keep Sako involved here too. The check you made, that was before I had decided what the DC was going to be. But I know you were just trying to rush and get people moving. So with the result of this gory, disgusting mess where with stamps and tusk. The mammoth that was already out there as Pogo carrying through this corpse as best he can. There's a hand here and like half of a leg over there of this corpse being kind of shredded into bits and spread all over the place. Still this kind of gentle snow just kind of settling down on the body and covering most of the blood and so on. But it's clear there was a massacre of some sort in the front of this cave. As you guys make your way out, we will call it a success. So let me move us over to here real quick, and I'll mark that one as a success for you guys. There's one more. So you need 2 more successes before 2 more failures. You make your way far enough away from the cave that Arteme, you feel pretty confident that specifically without a trail. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that if you guys had left any kind of a trail at all, meaning if Pass Without Trace, if it didn't have that specific caveat, this would have been real bad. But you using with Pass Without Trace and leaving no footprints at all away from it, a sufficient hunter would probably be able to find you with enough time, and that they would probably just put out a radius and kind of search manually in an area. But apart from that, you feel like you're not going to be able to be easily found. Nobody's going to be able to just follow you straight here. So you do successfully find a place, a significantly large enough tree that you plant another beneath it, and after finishing it, it does look like it's enough of a natural outcropping of trees that this other tree just grew beneath the shelter of the larger coniferous. That you feel pretty confident that it's okay there. You're probably not going to get too buried in snow, but the extra weight, will pushing the branches up essentially of the larger tree shouldn't be a problem. That you guys shouldn't be buried by the dome, but you do finish that within enough time to go ahead and finish your long rest. So, Arteme, you won't, because remember, you already had yours. You did yours first, so you don't get another long rest, but you do go ahead and get to remove 1 level of exhaustion. Everybody else go ahead and apply 1 level or 1 long rest.
Holy.
Oh, right. I was also gonna do greater restoration on Nora.
Okay. All right, since you were doing that anyways, that brings him down to 0. Sarah down to 1, Arteme to 0, Pogo to 0, Nazim to 0. Shok to 1, and Avar still 0.
Okay, and I'm just gonna leaf through the medical book while I'm waiting.
Okay. Yeah, you basically got to, just kill 4 hours. So
don't forget under effects, you can click the little X button and it'll take it off. Don't click the trash button.
Yes, please don't click the trash button, because it just means I have to fix it if you do that.
Little X button under effects will take off your level of exhaustion.
Yeah, so Sarah, you can click the X on the 2 and then just click the check on the 1 to put the 1 back up there.
Yeah, I already did that. I also took off my shadow skin.
Okay.
I'm sure she would have taken that off before falling asleep.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know if it lasts while you're turned into a mammoth either.
Oh, yeah, huh?
It does.
Shadow skin mammoth.
I think it does, doesn't it? I think it.
Yeah.
Didn't we have that discussion before?
We did.
It creates a shadowy mammoth.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm trying to turn off my exhaustion here. It's not working.
Let's see.
Did you try the trash can button? Just kidding.
Yeah,
no.
Don't click that one.
Let's see.
Is it okay if we take an intermission, guys, in a minute?
Yeah. Give me. Go ahead. I'll fix this.
Let's do it right now.
I know this would be kind of complicated, but is there a way to disable the trash button on some skills?
I actually tried to. I was looking for a way specifically to prevent you guys from even having that trash button, because there's never a time when you guys would need to do that except for items, not for abilities and stuff. But yeah, so far there isn't one. I don't have it paused, Sako, so I just paused and unpaused it.
Now it's unpaused. Okay,
now try, see if it'll let you. Oh, wait. That's pop out? That's probably why it's popped out, isn't it?
Yeah, pop out was paused. I had to pop it back in for it to work.
Okay. So yeah, close the pop out, Sako, and then at least from what Fox said, that it works with the the one inside. Then you can pop it back out again after you do the.
No, I couldn't pop it back out because it wouldn't load.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Try it from. Go ahead, Sako.
All right, so I'm just going to try it without popping it out. So
close
definitely not the garbage can.
Correct. Yeah. So close the pop out, and then from the character sheet inside of regular found without pop out, to the right of exhaustion 1, you should see an X and then like a little, Yeah. So click the X. There you go. That did it. So it looks like you just can't do it from pop out. There may be an update to pop out, Fox. I'll try that before next week. But anyways, go ahead and take 5, everybody, real quick. You still there, Sako? It doesn't look like pop out. Yo.
Yo.
You played more Mass Effect?
I've been playing it on and off. It's crazy because like it takes 30 minutes to fucking play one round, and it bugged me. Like
it doesn't take that long unless you're
20.
It's a
like
really slow group.
It takes 5 minutes to kind of put the group together, and actually get joined in, and then it takes 24
you're way overestimating,
minutes.
dude.
I feel like gold
An
ones
actual
take a decent amount of time.
Gold can if people aren't. Gold's probably where gold obviously
Gold
goes
seems
up,
like if you don't
higher,
take your fucking time, then you'll die because you end up spending like the last, especially if it's Reapers or whatever. You spend the last 9 minutes running away from fucking Banshees, shooting them while running backwards. There's like 3 or 4, and you basically. I've discovered the people who are good when it's gold or platinum are the people who understand how to like get one line of Banshees and Brutes and then just like
pull them all up,
drag them all together, and just like it's a weird parade of death.
Your guy, the one you've been playing, the Destroyer, is actually a good one of the good team composition ones for doing platinums.
It's not bad.
It's a good utility one. It's specifically that you have the Destroyer doing all of the challenges. So the hacks and stuff like that, mostly, with everybody else just following along and supporting to get the challenge things done. But you usually do a Juggernaut. A Destroyer is a good option for that next slot.
Yeah, everyone uses Juggernaut.
And then 2 Sentinels.
The Juggernaut one is the Geth Juggernaut is like the A class for platinum and gold. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually succeeded on a gold mission unless there was a Juggernaut on that team.
Yeah, it's really
always
just because you can use a Juggernaut to keep the higher enemies kind of distracted and focused on the Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut can't be sync killed. So you can get a shit ton of armor on them where they're very, very hard to kill them.
What's the sync killed? What does that mean? I read that in a Reddit.
That's an instant kill things. So
like Banshees and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the instant kill things that most of the boss enemies have don't work on the Juggernaut at all.
Yeah.
So the Juggernaut can kind of just stand in front of them and keep them distracted while you have 2 Sentinels in the back that are setting off biotic explosions constantly, and then the Destroyer kind of using all right. So the Sentinels. Warp when you put it up does a thing where it reduces their armor, and then the Destroyer, whoever your weapon class is, usually it's a Destroyer, can just be firing into that and just doing a much higher damage than they otherwise would be. And then when you get to the challenge things, the Destroyer runs ahead and does the challenge while the Juggernaut and the 2 Sentinels kind of follow along, keeping the mobs away from the Destroyer to finish the challenges.
I feel like that's pretty good. You'd have to have everyone on a group chat to get that shit done right.
Yeah. That's how you're supposed to do platinums.
I only got auto-loaded. Yeah, I only got auto-loaded into 1 platinum, and they succeeded with very little help from me. Like, very little help. Like, I ended up having, like, fucking... my goal was to not bother them with trying to revive me, and to just fucking stay alive. Like, that was all it was. So
platinums are fucking crazy though, because you have all of the enemy types for all their bosses will be up at once.
Yeah, they're just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've only succeeded one time where I was, I've never tried to get dragged.
It was crazy. It was like I think I made like $160,000 game dollars or whatever from that one match. It was nuts. I'm really bummed. The other character class I got, which is I think I might have it still here. It's supposed to be pretty strong, and it's very, very good with shields.
You know about the big bad list of builds, right? The B blob. It's a site with a list of like tons and tons of like good builds, and they're all rated and everything.
Well, I just look up the best. Like I looked up build options for this specific character.
Yeah, most of them are coming from this. Is where they're coming from. I'll drop it in your. I'll just put it in Embers chat. Doesn't matter.
Shaman something.
Yeah, the Krogan Shaman.
Yeah, Krogan Shaman. So its big thing, the Krogan Shaman build for its rage, is supposed to be melee attack stuff, which is cool. You want to know who's the fucking Krogan Shaman Adept.
Yep.
You don't know who's the fucking worst at lining up and hitting with, because his melee attack isn't like his melee attack is like a charge. It's a charge headbutt.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the Krogan Soldier. That's one of my
Yeah.
very favorite ones. It's not viable on anything above silver, really, but it's fun.
So, yeah, the problem is I can't fucking hit shit with a melee attack. Like, I think I break the AI to where the AI doesn't understand what's happening. It keeps running circles around it, and the AI ends up like kind of glitching because like I don't think like whatever it is, because I miss them so many times, they're now running in a weird circle, and they're not attacking me anymore because they like can't, because it's like their targeting system. They're looking at where I was for my last running headbutt thing. It was.
If you're using a shotgun, so that build, it's the same thing that I do with the
shotgun to like get them to stop, and then you're already targeting.
You use a shotgun with a like a blade attachment thing. It's a melee damage bonus thing you put on it, and when you do that one, the animation is different. You like fling your arm up and hit them like you're pistol whipping them, like you're pistol whipping them with it a little bit, and you do it that way. And I don't know that it changes the aim, but at least for me, it felt easier, and that's what I just use constantly, and you just go around constantly meleeing shit.
I did one with him, and he's hard to fucking kill. Yeah. But like, I felt like a goddamn idiot. because he makes a noise too. He's like,
I love that noise.
And then I'm just like, and I'm like running past, and then like I'm like turn around,
and like over and over again.
And then
just nonstop.
Just dumb.
Yeah, I fucking love that one. You want to get the Krogan Soldier though. That one's much, at least for me, is so much better.
Yeah, I just thought it was goofy.
Yeah.
He does get rage though, so if I can kill 3 people in 30 seconds, that's my goal. You kill 3 people in 30 seconds on rage, and then you got another 30 seconds to
you spec it to only take 2, and then you just constantly, as long as you're killing 1 enemy every 30 seconds, it stays up forever.
Yeah,
which is really easy to do. So
I think I don't remember if I took that spec. I basically maxed out just that one thing so I could see if I could play on melee damage.
Yep.
Because I was curious, but I think
next time we play, I'll show you my Krogan Soldier. That's exactly how you play. Is you just melee the whole time. Basically,
like it wasn't terrible.
You can use the Geth pulse shotgun.
I don't have that one though.
Yeah, but that's fine, but you don't even need it. You can just melee everything through bronze. Solo bronze is easy that way.
I'm gonna have to start saving up each time for Spectre packs so that I can get better, cooler weapons.
You'd want to use the Arsenal pack as someone you'd want then.
Or Arsenal pack instead of
because that one's guns only. So.
Yeah, because I've got tons of the other stuff already.
I hear Becky and Ben back. I think, right?
Yep.
Fox, Taco.
Yep, back.
Yep. Fox still gone? There, we'll give her a minute.
Oh, dude.
Taco. What's up, dude?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No,
I was just gonna say, I'm not gonna be able to play for the next 2 to 4 weeks because my schedule at work is gonna be flipping.
Let's find another day.
I don't really know if I'd be able to because I'm gonna be doing overnights watching one of the farms because it's harvest time. So just guarding one of the fields. So I'm going to be working like sun up to or sundown to sun up. I'm gonna be
it's October. Yep.
Yeah.
That's just a
couple weeks.
You have a funny job, and it cracks me up.
Yeah.
I gotta guard the fields, lest the Saxons take me corn.
Yeah, exactly, man. Watch out for
you got to keep the.
I'm talking in code. I'm talking in code here.
When is that done, G? Like how is that?
It's only going to be like 2 to 4 weeks because we harvest in October. So
yeah, but I mean 2 to 4 weeks is a long time. Does that mean that because today's the 2nd, so you'd be done, like the 23rd? That's 3 weeks from today.
I don't know. It could be anywhere from
Or what about Sunday mornings? How are we on Sunday mornings?
Yeah, I mean, is there
a
different
day that
actually, maybe that might work because I'm going to be not working on Saturday and Sunday nights. One of the other guys is covering that, but again, I'd be.
You're doing.
It's overnights, is what it is. It's a graveyard, watching the plants overnight.
Well, let's see if we can figure out.
If Sunday morning works, though, for you guys, we could probably actually pull it off because it'd be the end of my day, but the beginning of your guys's.
Yeah.
And so I would, I'm off on Sundays, so I wouldn't have to go home and go right to bed, So.
Well, it'd probably only be 1 game or 2 game, maybe if it ends up being 4 weeks, maybe 3 games. Basically, it'd only be a couple of games. What I'm saying, probably only 1 because one of these weeks I still have to do the network upgrade. So we're just waiting for Visa to approve that. So I don't know what day that'll be yet, but that will be in the next few weeks, which means that it'll line up there. Fox,
I'm probably not going to be able to play on the 9th too because that's my mom's birthday. I might actually go around to the Bay Area for that.
Okay, Fox, were you back?
Sorry, give me another second. I was grabbing food and I made a mess.
Okay.
No, take your time.
All right, then, and if that's the case, we'll count on not playing on the 9th then anyway, and then maybe we could just do, if it's only going to be that, if it's basically just going to be a couple of weeks, G, then maybe we'll just do, we won't play the 9th, and then we'll do like a Hero Quest game on the 16th, and then that's 3 weeks from today would be the 23rd, would be, our normal time basically on the 23rd, and then if you're back by then, great, if not, maybe we do another Hero Quest game and then we just resume on the 30th, or maybe for that week we just pick it, we play Sunday or something instead.
Or maybe AT&T
Yeah.
will have a thing that day.
Huh?
Who knows?
Oh, you mean my work? Yeah, you mean my stuff?
Maybe your work, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Could very well be. I mean, usually I'll know early in the week, so if it's going to be, the 9th or something, which would be fine if we're going to be off the 9th anyways. So yeah, we'll make it work, G. That'll be fine. We'll probably just have 1 or 2 Hero Quest games in the middle, or do a different day to get Embers done. I would eventually like to actually get you guys off of this fucking mountain. If you get this
starting to like it. I think Pogo's starting to get. He might have a summer cabin up here.
Getting acclimated to the weather by now. What's funny too is I was just looking at the calendar the other day. We're at 3 years of Embers now. By the way, we're 3 years into this campaign. I didn't intend it to be going at this slow pace, but obviously a lot of that was slowdowns from work, like having to skip weeks and shit like that. Otherwise, it would have been quite a bit better. But like a 70% schedule, which I mean that gives time people time for regular life stuff too. So it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, 3 years is a.
I'm back.
Hey, Fox. So we were just talking about schedule, Fox. We're going to be off next week on the 9th. Sako's got a thing, and then with Ben's got a work thing, and Sako has another thing. So we'll be off on the 9th, and then we may end up doing a Hero Quest game on the 16th. It depends on what Ben's schedule. If he probably will still be guarding the fields on that day. So we'll play it by ear when we get closer to it.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and get back into it here. So you guys successfully found a decent enough tree where you can get some comfort and finish the rest. And in the morning, the mountain pile of snow and ice on the top of the trees. Arteme, you can just tell with the surrounding noise of the tree creaking, these kind of subtle sounds that other people may not necessarily notice. These kind of creaks from the forest here are enough that you're able to pick up on them naturally. There is a lot of weight on that tree, and as soon as you bring this dome down, it's gonna collapse. So, what's the plan?
You guys ready?
Probably get out first.
Yeah, let everybody go out first, and then I'll go out after. Okay. Everybody's gonna go out first. Sarah and I will stay in on the broom, and then we'll broom out.
Sure.
Also, while we were resting, I probably refed the little things on the broom.
All right.
Just
still
because
surreptitiously without Sarah noticing?
Yes. Once she fell asleep, I fed them.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Sarah was passed out, so it's fine.
All right.
So, what do we have left to get to where we're going, Norak? What do we need to do?
We gotta keep getting over the mountain, over the other side, and then down the path.
Right.
Right.
Norak, yeah, you know that there's another long kind of a spine slope, basically where it's the road, the same road that you guys are near, there's a kind of a long path where it's 20-30 feet wide, and then it's a steep slope on both sides. There's that. That's going to take a while. There is a bit where there's more cliffs on one side of that, and then you have a long flat canyon that during the summertime is a big lake, but right now is frozen over. So like that'll probably take another 2 or 3 hours or so to cross that. There's another cave another day-ish away, Ben, and then you're pretty much near, like, then after that you just have like a long, very steep, winding switchback path that leads up to the summit, and then you're there.
Okay. So
Right.
we're a couple days out, probably. So.
Yeah.
All right. Oh. Would you guys like me to turn back into a mammoth? I will say I can only do it once per day, though. If this is something we want to do.
What's the weather like right now? Is the blizzard
fucking shitty? Look around. It's just snowing kit.
It's as bad. Yeah, it's as bad as the blizzard was when Nazim had found that Ramores tunnel that you guys slept in. Remember? It's like you can't see for 10 feet. In fact, actually, let me go back real quick. Sorry, I meant to get back to this for you guys. Both Noctua and Pietro would not have seen anything with the rolls that you'd made that looked like, any non anything other than regular wildlife in this area. I guess is how I'd say that.
Okay.
I'm gonna call it back, and I'm going to call him back and tell Pietro for this next journey. I just want him to hang out about 150 feet ahead of us as we're walking. And then, Norak, I'm going to turn myself into a woolly mammoth because this is fucking cold. You're going to get on me, ride me. See? You'd have a chance to help me out, just like you helped me out before, and I'll help you out here. And you're going to be the guide, and you just lead me where we need to go, okay? I don't know. I'm just going to be a big animal. You're just going to go ahead and take me forward. Don't hurt me. If you hurt me, I might turn out, and then you'll crush me as we fall into the snow. Do you understand?
All right, then, yeah, we will head out when you guys are ready.
All right, I'm going to do my...
So you guys are going to mammoth your way back to the road?
Yep. Do we need 2 mammoths? We need 2 to carry everyone, right?
If Shok and Norak are not going to be walking through the snow, then yes.
All right, so... Shok, do you want to ride a mammoth or are you walking?
Someone can ride me as long as no one speaks of it.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, I mean, I can turn you. I was just going to turn myself, but that works too.
I mean, you'd be more comfortable if you had 3, but it's not necessarily needed. You can handle enough with 2 and still keep people warm. But remember, you're still going to have the extreme cold. In fact, we're going to be making that check here shortly. But if you're going to have a reduced DC, basically an easier number for you guys to beat if you are near a mammoth, just because of the body heat.
All right,
okay, I'm also going to recast Pass Without Trace for when we're going, just to keep our tracks hidden for another day.
Okay. Are you guys going to go back to the road and follow the road, or are you going to try to, because basically not using the road is going to be a totally different animal than just getting on the road.
Oh, no, we're just going to use the road.
Okay, you're just going to use that to get to the road? Okay, I got you. All right. So at least then you're not leaving a trail. Okay. That still lasts for an hour anyway, so that gets you enough time to get to the road at least.
Yeah.
And then a ways up.
All right, then I will... So, Nazim, you're okay being a mammoth?
Remember, it only lasts for an hour for me.
Same for me. So I will cast Polymorph, then you said it'd be easier with 3, so I will do myself and Nazim.
With twin spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can only do that once today though, guys. Otherwise we're just doing single mammoths after this.
Well, that gets you guys back to the road at the very least, and the travel isn't quite, at least at this point where you guys are at right now, as Norak has told you, this point of the travel, the road isn't that bad. It's just thick snow. But it's not, you're not falling through ice and shit, so it's not as bad as some of the trek that you guys did previously where you weren't at the road. Remember, you guys were just walking up the side of the mountain with no road, no path, and that was a little more dangerous than this road that you're on now. I'm saying road, really, it's just a path, but, it's not, there's not paved, there's not traffic and shit. All right, so 3 mammoths then. Then with you guys split up amongst them, to kind of safely have enough space for each of you to be astride while, preventing as much of the wind as possible. Sarah's one of the mammoths anyways, but Pogo could be... never mind. Pogo and Sarah both are mammoths, so neither of you need to be enmeshed in fur. But with Arteme, I guess it's just... Yeah, really, I guess it's just the NPCs then, Arteme and Pogo. No, never mind.
Norak.
Yeah, Arteme and Norak, sorry, and then Avar and Shok. So, all right, yeah, that's easy enough then. So the DC, because you guys are getting rapidly up to the unnatural cold, you're in it now with this blizzard as well. The DC is going to be a 22 for everybody. It was supposed to be between a 20 and a 24, so we'll just call it a 22. So con saves for everybody. The mammoths have advantage. Mammoths have advantage.
Okay. I do not have mammoth stats.
Let's see.
You can roll for me, by the way, or if you have them.
I'll tell you what it is. You can roll a
D20.
D20. Yeah,
so take me a sec. This pop out's broke again.
So
it may need an update. The Mammoth Constitution is a +5 on the save, so you can just roll a d20. It'll be +5. Mammoths have advantage.
Damn, baby.
Yeah, natural 20.
Do I still have?
Yeah, another natural 20.
Baby.
Shit. You have what, G?
Do I still have advantage on this from my mountain board?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay.
Yep, you do. Yep.
Okay, sorry. What am I rolling?
You're rolling a con save. Sako, you get to roll a con save as well. Actually, you can just roll a d20 and it'll be +5. And you can roll, Sako, you'll be rolling yours with advantage as well for the cold.
So if we're on the Mammoth, that's just a normal roll?
Norok missed it by 1. No, it's a normal roll right now. Yes, for Fox. So normal roll for Fox. Norok missed it by 1. Nazim got a 14, so he still misses it. Artemis misses it.
Yeah, but that's +5 though, right?
Yeah, it makes it a 19, and the DC was 22. So still.
Do any of my innate abilities, are they being able to be used as a mammoth?
Elaborate. Give me some specifics there.
To let him re-roll, because it's one of the wizard things that I can just do twice a day.
Here's the trouble. I would say yes for yourself. For using it for someone else, you don't have your own mental stats. You have when you're polymorphed, you have the stats of meaning that you wouldn't be reacting, in a self-preservation. You would be trying to help someone else. I'd say in that case, no, not really. Specifically, only because it's someone else, rather than trying to prevent yourself from freezing. So that means, what's that, G?
Was that 22 with the advantage of being on the mammoth, or no? Because it was going to save the DC, right?
Yeah, the 22 was the 22 for everybody, regardless. So the advantage was because you with your mountain board. Otherwise, you would have a flat roll, which would have been a little bit lower even.
No, I meant the DC on it. Did you already reduce the DC because?
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah. The 22 was because of the mammoth from the heat.
Because it was 24, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be a 20 if you without the heat from the mammoth, 24 with the mammoth, but because you guys are in the unnatural cold area already, because you're up the mountain far enough that you're in the radius from the dragon's cold. So that means Arteme, Nazim, and Norok, 1 level for each of you, which puts Pogo still at 0. Everybody else is at 1. I need to roll for Avar real quick. Also failed. All right, so 1 for Avar too. All right. So about an hour or so up this road. This is, by the way, guys, this is stuff that I had I swear probably 2-3 months ago. These notes were in here when you guys started all of the skill checks, the skill challenge. I had all of these individual little skill challenges already ready. So there's been some minor modifications just because you guys have done different things since. But that's how long the skill challenge has been going. Is probably 2 months of real life time, obviously. Anyways, about an hour or so into the trek, the road has reached that elevated spine area that Norok was describing you guys previously. Not unlike that spine that you guys had walked along where Sarah had become a mammoth and you guys were kind of holding on to one side where the wind was blowing over. Basically, the sides of the road fall away into these steep slopes, and there are still tall trees that are enveloping the north and the south. You guys are traveling west up the slope. So the north and the south, so both sides of the road, have these tall trees that provide some protection from the winds, but Norok, you know that these conditions that you'll be traveling in for the next couple of hours toward Whitehaller, and then through this kind of densely falling snow of this just incessant blizzard, just blasting away at all of you as you're trying to, cloaks over your face is still just the wind blowing through it. It's just this biting, freezing cold. But Pietro, Sako, or Justin, give me a perception check on Pietro with advantage.
Sounds good.
And if it's been an hour, we are no longer.
Yeah. So.
Polymorph.
Is this
okay.
Right after
that's good because it is about an hour or so in. Yeah. So that means that all of you have reverted to your normal shapes. Are you just walking? I mean, on the road, the snow is still pretty thick, so the halflings alone would be sinking in, to chest level at least.
Yeah, I would ask, are you going to turn yourself back into a mammoth so I can cuddle up on your back, or are we going to walk it on foot? Because it's very cold.
Yeah, nope, I got this. I can only do one person, so I will do myself, but...
I could also turn into one, because, I could study herds and then turn into one.
I think the DC is low enough that I would say that you probably would have done so by now anyways, Fox. I would say that you don't even need to do that now, that you would have studied it already enough to be able to do so. So if you want to use your wild shape, you can. Just because you've been near enough, you've literally been riding on them, for multiple hours at this point, different times, but multiple hours near these mammoths that you could have studied it if you chose to.
And I'm going prone on the top of the mammoth like I did before with my goat cape pulled down on every side, just with my face buried in the fucking.
Shok is choosing to walk. Norak, you walking?
Yeah.
It's not. It's probably 2.5 feet of snow. So I mean, it's still up to nearly knee level basically for you, but enough that you can still trudge through it. If you guys make snowshoes or something, it might be easier. But for now, at least trying to get through that. All right. So Sarah still is a mammoth. Is that Arteme, Pogo, Nazim? Where you ride the mammoth as well?
If I'm no longer a mammoth, I'll float. But if I'm a mammoth, I'll just keep pushing.
Okay. Then if you're floating alongside, there is still some wind. Like I said, the trees are tall enough that you're getting some protection from the wind at least. So it's not quite as bad. What's that?
Okay, wait. So if Shok and Norak are walking, then we don't need 2 mammoths.
You only, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll hold off and I'll just go on Sarah for now. Okay. That way there we could extend it, because once Sarah's thing ends, I'll turn into one so we can keep going at a bit of a faster rate.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you then. You guys kind of make this transition. Sarah reverts into another mammoth again, while the rest of you kind of gather around. The incessant blizzard is really the trouble, because it kind of reduces visibility to the point where you guys can't see anything at all. But not long in, an hour or so in, so maybe 10 minutes after you guys make this transition in your travel methods here, you get a cawing, panicked response from Pietro Pogo, and the shout is that they're coming, and he can't count how many. He can't see enough to see them, but they're huge, and they're maybe hundreds.
So I'm going to lift up and say, "My brother just said there's hundreds of something huge coming down this hill, coming at us. What do you want to do? Quick!"
And then duck back into the fur.
Well, I'm going to,
he's far enough ahead. You guys, this is.
He's like 100, 150 feet ahead.
Yeah, exactly. He's
hundreds of giant things. And then I'm going to ask Pietro, could you be more specific?
They're blue and white and covered in fur.
I'm going to tell Pietro to go, all right, Pietro, go fly like 30 feet above them and make as much noise as you can. Just make a bunch of noise. Try to distract them.
Are you trying to sacrifice him again?
No, just distract them.
He will flat out be killed. You know that, right? Like, Pogo would know that doing that is a death sentence to Pietro. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that Pogo would know that
he's
will
gonna
absolutely
go and distract. I'm just gonna telepathically tell him. I bought him some time, guys, but we've got to do something.
I guess we'll have Pietro 4.0 soon. Sorry, Becky, go ahead.
What is the terrain around us? Like, are we on that narrow road where there's cliffs on each side?
Yep. And as Norak has told you, that continues for hours. You still have at least a couple more hours that you'd be walking along that spine, which means that you're being the approaching group that Pietro has told Pogo about, that he shouted to you, are also on that same kind of a spine.
So they're probably kind of one by one.
He did describe it as they're not single file, but yeah, they are basically one long line. Yeah.
I'm dropping polymorph.
Okay.
No, he's so fast.
Well, you hear a collapse of a Pogo smashing into snow, face first, because he was laying like spread eagled face down.
Sarah would have been a mammoth. I would have had the broom, so I would just hop on the broom and grab them both. Like, I'd grab them both as like she was transforming and him as he was falling.
When you're holding on to the broom, I'm gonna say I doubt you have 2 hands. Just fucking grab people.
Yeah, you probably can really only grab one at
the broom with both. I would grab you with a whip and grab Sarah with a hand.
You still need
to
second hand.
You got that kind of time? You ever fell off I barely have time to get my hands in front of my face when I fall.
It's a whip around my waist, and you'll have to grab onto it while I grab Sarah. There. Problem solved.
You don't have time. Come on, Fox. You don't have time to do all of that.
But how long does it take you to put it? Can you put a belt on in like half a second in like your house? Like, I'm just.
It's not gonna hurt him, Fox. He's falling face first into powder snow.
I'm falling into snow. It's like 8 feet. It's no.
All right, so it's like 2.5 feet of snow, so my head is sticking out. I'm just like, Arteme, do you still have that wind thing where we can turn into clouds?
Thankfully I do, because that got reset, but my other spells didn't.
Great, we should get the fuck out of here.
Us in the clouds! We keep going that way past the big fuckers!
So, yes, Arteme still has it. You will not be able to find each other if you try to do that in the middle of the blizzard.
We kind of know that too.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah. Remember, we talked about that before, that the blizzard being, the constant whipping around of wind and you can't see each other, you will easily get separated.
Maybe if I show him one of
What
our
if-
written passages.
Okay, but we all know to at least go past the giants that are coming this way, so at least get past them and then undo yourself and see if there's anyone around you. I mean, we've got Rocky Talkies except for, a handful of us.
As you guys are having this discussion, Norok, you hear a shout up ahead. All of you hear the shout, kind of booming through the snow. In Lurg, a booming, echoing.
What is that? What are they saying?
Cacophony of noise. All of you hear it. I wouldn't say that any of you can see necessarily anything.
No, but we don't understand the language, so what are they saying?
Yeah, it's time to go. They see us.
Oh,
What do you mean go? We're on one thing. Oh, we got to keep going that way.
We need to turn into clouds because nothing else is going to get all of us out of here without dying. Like, I've got
We could fight
teleportation
'em.
circle, but I can't even use it yet.
Hundreds? You said hundreds?
Arteme, give me a perception check with advantage.
We've got to turn into clouds. We've
Is
got
that
to
running
try.
down? Yeah. That's
We're gonna turn into
run down
clouds.
the hill.
We all just need to go past it. We got to go into clouds.
That's still enough, Arteme.
Go past them.
Arteme, you are starting to make out shapes in the snow coming toward you, and they seem like they're not. Oh, how do I say this? They're moving awkwardly, like maybe this is challenging for them more so than you would expect after having seen the other giant. But you're seeing shapes in the snow. They do look like they're walking like 2 by 2, like shoulder by shoulder along, and that's the width of the road. Essentially, is how big they are. In these long, lumbering strides, and just as you're watching and everybody else is having this discussion, you keep seeing more and more of these kind of shadowy forms between the snow. Norok, with the familiarity you have with the Velg tribe of frost giants, you seeing that these starting the shapes that are starting to all of you being able to see now at this point. There's that line is going to go on for a long time. You're seeing an entire company of them, so it might be 100, it might be 200, and they're walking down mountain towards the party along the road.
Right. Do we have a landmark to meet up at?
Just follow the road
Just
and
go
just go
past
past
the
the
giants.
giants.
When there's no more giants, you could go back to normal.
Yeah.
The wind
Does
is
anyone
blowing.
understand?
The wind is
Until you
blowing from
don't
the top
see
of the mountain, guys. The wind is literally blowing from where the dragon is, which is at your top. It's blowing at you.
Yeah, so
we've
we'd be
discussed
going
this before.
backwards if
You
we're
won't be able to
wind,
go
or we'd be
yeah.
trying to fight the wind as wind, which would not really work.
Yeah. Getting
Well, we can
past
say-
them is going to be basically. I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying that the check is going to be very hard. Remember, this is another skill check, by the way. So whatever you guys decide to do, you're going to have to come up with one skill and an explanation for it. And I'm going to give you a DC, and we'll see whether or not you succeed.
Okay, hang how many people can you stealth?
I can stealth 4 total, including myself.
Total? Okay.
What are you
that lasts
talking
an
about when you
hour.
say that? I'm not sure what you're even referring
Oh,
to
stealth.
there.
I can make people invisible. Sorry, I can make 4 people
that
invisible.
makes more sense.
I'm
Okay.
I'm very peaked here.
Okay, so if I do invisibility at level 5, cover the rest of the people, I think?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's both cast invisibility and then just go to the side of the road and walk past them.
Well, no. How
Is there
about we?
enough room?
Is there? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think there's enough room. We gotta find. Is there a spot anywhere around us? How about can someone use survival or something to see if there's anywhere off the road that we could stay as invisible while they pass us? Does anyone have that ability under their attributes?
You guys have used survival already.
Because I already used one of mine.
But you've already used survivable, so you'd have to use a different
Yeah.
skill.
Well, I've also already gone twice, so I can't
Yeah.
go again.
If necessary, I can do a minor illusion to create a small diversion to get them away.
There's nowhere they can go. They have to go this way.
There's a lot of them to a minor illusion. May not be
Hundreds.
enough.
There's
That's because
hundreds.
minor illusion's a 5x5 cube.
Yeah, I could do a nature check to see what's around, or ask Avar because he's been up here. Norok's been up here, so I'm asking you guys if there's any thing else up here. So where we could just stay invisible and wait for them to pass.
Or even I mean, if I think that would be a good check to see if there's even anything around us that we could, just all it takes is some trees that we could hang out in, maybe jump to some trees and hold on to them up here as they pass.
Tell you what, let's do.
I'm gonna a place that's within 500 feet. I could use a dimensional door and just kind of walk us through to a safer area. But if there's a place that actually can be useful,
because you can't see 500 feet. I think we're not.
Yeah,
to
the
be more
blizzard.
close.
Yeah. And so real quick, you guys. So keep in mind, even if you guys have already gone, like Pogo's gone twice and Nazima's gone twice. So the two of you can't be the one making like the final check, but you can certainly still do something like Arcane Gate, which is what Sako's referring to kind of help the rest of the group, and that would affect the DC in a positive way.
Okay. Can I do a nature check?
To see if we can find the place to go that
yeah,
we're
exactly.
invisible?
If you guys want to make a check or something real quick, you don't have long because you know that they've seen you now. So if you guys want to do a couple of quick checks or something first that aren't the actual skill check, that's fine.
Yeah. How about you do? So your character will do a nature check to find a spot. We can then turn everyone invisible, and we're gonna make sure we get to that spot.
Okay. Is anybody helping with the nature check? Is what I'm asking.
Anybody proficient?
I am not.
Nope.
Let me see.
Is Avar proficient in nature?
He certainly
Because I think he. Okay. So would he help?
Yep.
Okay.
I'd be happy to help.
What do your giant eyes see?
And then invisibility after.
There we go.
Okay. You.
Oh, you actually
don't
get.
spot-
You don't have the D4 anymore. I don't think. Oh yeah, you do. Just kidding.
Yeah, she got one more level.
Okay.
Yeah, the Pogo's the only one that doesn't have a level right
and
now.
then upcast invisibility. There we go.
All right.
Yep. Me
Okay,
too.
so I'm going to go ahead and tell you that so you guys need to decide what check you're going to do. That wasn't the skill check. Like I said, you can just do that to see if you can successfully find a place. So there is a spot where there's a dense enough copse of trees that you feel like if you can run behind it and be invisible, that you could potentially use that. So what's the actual skill check going to be? Since she rolled high enough that we'll just say yes, there is a decent enough trees that you can hide behind. So what's the plan? Who's going to make the check and what is it?
Because I don't have a whole lot that I can do that I'm proficient in, but if I use like prestidigitation to clean our footprints from the snow, could I do an Arcana check? Because it's a spell. Because if we're invisible, then they can't see us, but they could still follow our tracks.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So could I do that? Make an Arcana check? Because that's about the only thing that I can see on mine that would be helpful, unless somebody has a better idea.
I mean, we still have literally the same
Sarah, Arteme, or
spells
Norok.
before, but I think they're both concentration would be my guess. So I don't think you can do both.
Yeah, if Arteme is going to be doing invisibility as concentration, then obviously she can't do another one as concentration.
Is the other one concentration? The pass without a trace?
Oh, pass without trace and invisibility are concentration. I can't do. Oh no! Wait, I can't. I'll do pass without trace too because I have the Wood Sage's course.
Oh fuck yes!
All right then.
Solved it. Now I don't know what kind of check there's going to be. Someone want to do a stealth check? I mean, I could do it. Oh, I can't because I already done a thing.
Yeah, it has to be Sarah, Arteme, or Norok because Nazim and Pogo both gone twice.
One of you guys who wants to be stealthy about it.
Well, it needs to be a skill that you're proficient in. So who's going to do this that is proficient in whatever skill you're going to use?
I'm only proficient in Arcana, History, Insight, and Persuasion, so none of mine are real helpful right now.
Yeah, you've done Persuasion already too, so you can't use that one.
I've done Survival. I'm Persuasion.
No, you did. You did Sleight of Hand, Fox.
Oh, I did Sleight of Hand. Okay, well I have Survival, if that would work.
I mean, that would probably work. I mean,
Survival is specifically, track covering and hunting and things like that.
I think that would be pretty good.
Norok used Survival before, but not Arteme. So
let's see what happens.
Thought you're going to do Arteme Survival?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
would this be normal or advantage?
Well, let's walk through the plan first real quick. So you're going to concentrate on both, pass without trace to cover your tracks, and invisibility. Pogo, you're going to do invisibility as well to cover everybody, and you're all just going to rush down the mountain towards behind these trees, this copse of trees that you have, some, reduction of visibility at, and then just wait for the group to pass?
Yep.
Wait for the group to pass, yep.
Okay. All right. In that case, the DC is still because of the, you'll understand here in a moment, actually, the letting them pass isn't the trouble so much as something else that'll probably make more sense here.
The dragon that they were just fighting, maybe.
We'll call it an 18, Fox, that you need to beat with your.
I'm gonna whisper in your ear. You're gonna do a great job. I have faith in you. I'm gonna give you bardic inspiration.
Okay. And Avar, actually Avar, yeah, he can't help with that because he's already helping with the with helping the tree. So I'm not going to have the NPC help on that too. So it'll be a flat roll, Fox. Beat an 18 on a survival check.
Re-roll it.
Well, I was going to say you can also use
she has Bardic Inspiration, so
Okay.
you can use both. You may end up needing both.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Well,
but she's got a 14. So go ahead and re-roll it again, Fox, with the chronal shift from Sarah. Oh, 20. Okay. So
you still have Bardic Inspiration if you need it.
What does Bardic Inspiration do exactly?
For 10 minutes, you can add a D10 to one of your rolls.
Oh, okay. Do I need to add it?
Well,
no, you don't have to.
We'll just give it a second here.
Okay.
Because as you all rush behind the trees, all invisible, you kind of keep, looking over the novelty for a very brief moment of looking around and, kind of feeling the body warmth of people that are standing next to you as you guys are kind of huddled behind the tree there, but not seeing anybody else. I mean, you've had this experience before, certainly, but still some novelty there. As you're kind of all eyes peeled against the road.
Be quiet.
Staring, you hear a bow creak.
Avar, don't you shoot
you
anything
hear
with
the
that bow.
bow creak. But
we're hiding right now, Avar.
What if they find us? What if I'm not gonna. And like you hear the tension in the bow as he's holding the arrow or the bow drawn.
Be quiet.
You watch all of you kind of staring intently at the road here, and it's upslope a little bit, so you're only seeing one half of them. Their skin is varying shades of blue, from this like deep blues to almost pastel. The males have these long white beards that they look just like solid icicles hanging off of their faces. Most of them are draped in heavy animal skins. Many of them are armed with poleaxes and greatswords that are as tall as Norok. I mean, these are just gargantuan creatures. Most of them are between 14 and 18 feet tall. The one that you saw, I'll go ahead and tell you that the physical frame, like the musculature of the one that you killed, was on the larger side. These are a little bit, he was basically a scout for a reason, and these are not quite as big as him, but still within that same range. They all look battle weary and defeated, and now that you know specifically what the blood of very intimately in the case of Pogo, what the blood of these frost giants look like, there are many that are clearly wounded with these bright splotches of this kind of crystalline, icy-looking blood that are staining these kind of polar bear skins and cloaks. Some of them are carried on stretchers that are literally just solid trees with canvas slung between them.
Can I make an insight check? Does it look like they fought a dragon?
I wouldn't call that an insight check specifically. I guess maybe it's wisdom. I mean, it would probably. Here's the thing. I would probably initially say nature, but I think insight is wisdom based, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that is. I guess that's intuitive enough. So, yeah, well, you go ahead and make an insight check. That's fine.
Can I make a check too?
Yeah. What kind of roll?
I was gonna roll nature.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or medicine.
That looks like a 1 to me.
It look like a 1.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. The medicine. Yeah, medicine's probably the better way to go. Those will be slightly different DCs, but it looks like there are some that are carrying arms and slings and things like that, and you can tell that there isn't flesh beneath that, like an arm is lifted up and there's body parts missing, and those maybe could potentially be based on what you saw in Meadow Lake, frozen parts of bodies that were snapped off. Most of them look like they were in collateral damage type stuff, buildings fell on type things like that. But as far as the I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, because the rolls were high enough that you gather that's almost certainly what happened, but rather than this wasn't an army that went to attack the dragon, but rather the dragon attacked probably their abodes and they ran, like they had to escape, and this is the result of some of their wounded from their houses falling on them and things like that. But based on the situation, yeah, you would gather they're almost certainly fleeing from the white frost that feeds. Now, with the space of you all kind of huddled in, trying to keep yourselves invisible during this time, that was one more success, by the way. So you only need one more on the rest of the path of the mountain here before 2 failures. But the train doesn't stop coming. There's tons and tons and tons of these. You lose count in the hundreds. Over 100, let's say, before you can't keep counting because your jaw is just shivering and your teeth are chattering, and you don't have any protection from the cold. So the DC is going to be extremely high here, guys, because you are in the freezing part, and you are all, I mean, apart from the clothing you're already wearing, you didn't, set anything else up to kind of stop yourselves from freezing, and that is going to have the additional part. This is where I mentioned the thing about Arteme potentially needing that bardic inspiration, is that it's going to be very hard for her to maintain concentration on 2 different spells at the same time while freezing to death in the snow. So DC is going to be 28 on cold.
I can't do it. It's physically impossible for me to do it.
Yep.
Well, natural 20 still count.
Oh, natural 20 still count.
Natural 20 still count.
Don't forget
it's only because you're exposed. Like you have the trees that you're standing near, and then you're each other's body heat, and that's all you got.
Nope. Not even close.
With advantage 20.
Saving Constitution, no advantage.
No, a flat roll, con save, flat roll.
Minus your exhaustion if you're exhausted.
Well, the exhaustion will already be on there as long as it's in there.
Oh, that's right.
I wouldn't expect anybody to succeed at this because you guys don't have any kind of shelter. So, I mean, this would be exactly the time when you would be.
Can I add the D10?
You absolutely can. That's what I was saying, that this would be the difference. In fact, actually, hold on, Fox. So that was the cold. You're going to get the level of exhaustion from the cold, but you're going to make another con save, not yet, but in a moment here. And this other con save is going to be your concentration. Does that make sense? Everybody get why that happens?
So the first one is we are now exhausted from the cold. The second one is actually if we can keep our spells up.
Exactly, to keep the invisibility. You did pass that trace. What, Fox?
Add that to my other roll then.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we both have to roll one.
Yeah, because you're both trying to maintain invisibility, and Fox trying to keep 2 spells, so her DC is even worse. So hang on 1 second. Let me do just for a line break. Go ahead. All right, both of you make con saves.
2. Oh wait, 2. Oh no! So that's I don't know who's controlling who, but I guess 3 or 4 of us are now visible. Nope,
all of you.
We're all visible.
Arteme, the concentration, you still would be able, actually.
We are
Here's the
behind
tricky part.
trees.
Here's the trick. Yes, you are, and you covered your trail to get there. So there's still, it's not that you're immediately visible to the giants that are passing, but we have the tricky position here of Arteme. I didn't make you specify, and I should have, which one you casted first. So without meta knowledge or without metaing it, would you have done Pass Without Trace first or Invisibility first?
I cast Invisibility, then Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
I think with Pass Without Trace, you might have to see them. So you might have to have done that first, like creatures that you can see.
And if you cast a spell...
Oh, wait, maybe he's right.
Doesn't it go away?
What'd you say, Becky?
When you cast a spell... Or no, is that just attacks? When you're invisible, you become visible?
That's only
It almost says masking you and your companions. It doesn't say I have to see them, so I would have done Invisibility, then Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Well, then in that case, the Pass Without Trace falls. So those of you that are covered, that means that half of you are visible now, and the other half are still invisible. I should have gone specific about this of who was covering who, but I didn't. So again, without meta knowledge,
dealer's choice.
Yeah. So let's just randomly pick a group here. How many is it that you cast that on each of you? Is it 3 each that you were doing? 4 each?
Well, I had to upcast it to level 5.
I think I upcasted mine to 5 too, but I didn't have to because level 5 should allow 4 people total, and I don't think we have 8 people.
When you cast the spell using a spell slot 3rd or higher, you can target 1 additional creature for each slot above.
So you have 7 people that you needed to cover. So
yeah.
And I cast 5.
No, you can do 4.
Yeah,
so
you'd be 4.
Did 4 people.
4. Yeah, okay.
We can each do 4.
So, Arteme, you did Shoke, and yourself, and, well, there's no 8, so ignore that one. You did Shoke yourself, and, well, let me get it up. Eventually I'll get one that you don't already have. God damn it. There's 7 people, so 8s don't count, and 6 was Shoke. And 6 again.
6. Come on, Snake Eyes.
And 4. All right, 4 is Pogo. Well, Pogo would have done himself. Oh, fucking A. There we go. All right, so
there we go.
Well, that's Arteme. 3 was Arteme.
Just pick 3 random ones, DM.
All right, so you did Norok. You did Shoke, Norok, and yourself, Arteme.
So they're still invisible.
And Avar, sorry, and Avar. So
at least it's the halflings.
Pogo, you did Sarah, and Nazim is who you covered there.
So we're all 3 now visible.
Okay,
we're halfway in the snow.
Literally just our heads.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are already freezing to death and then choosing to bury yourselves in snow.
I don't think we have a choice. I think this is
totally
where
fair.
we're at.
Totally fair. Nazim,
Actually, to be fair, snow is kind of insulating, so if you're buried in it, you would warm up a bit.
Very true.
It's not quite. No.
That's how it works.
Saps the heat
the
right
air,
away. I
get
get so
around you that has to heat up.
So the air. Well, okay. There's logic to that, but at the same time, you're not getting the blasting of the air freezing, but your body temperature also is being sapped away into the snow. Yeah. So it's at best, a losing game, a game of attrition. So hang on, now, Sarah. 1 sec. So Sarah and Pogo are trying to kind of dig themselves into the snow. What's Nazim doing? You've just become visible. The giants are 20 feet away on the road.
All right. There's nothing around me that I can hide behind. Obviously, we're just kind of in an open area.
No, you're behind trees, so they don't have a direct line of sight to you. So you have some visibility there. You do see that Pogo and Sarah, who have just returned to visibility as well, are beginning to dig themselves into the snow.
Gotcha. Can I run a stealth check behind the tree and just kind of turn sideways as slim as possible?
That's fine. I mean, there's near enough that everybody else could kind of, since they're still invisible, could move away to kind of give you a space, behind the tree. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. You're pretty confident that you're hiding well. Whether or not that's successful or not, you don't know yet. But you are, behind the tree as best you can be, you feel like. All right, what were you saying, Becky?
All right, so I have a question. I was trying to ask it earlier, but can I tweak one of my spells a little bit? So Prestidigitation says that I can warm 1 cubic foot. Oh, never mind. I didn't read the rest of it.
It's only food, isn't it?
It says non-living specifically, so I was like, could we warm up our clothes? It's non-living.
You could maybe warm up
the spell.
Nazim. Nazim gets
Nazim's only half living, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material. Okay.
So could I do patches of mine and Pogo's clothes since we're in the snow?
I would say that you could kind of rotate doing that. Yeah, every 6 seconds you'd be able to do in their section. Sure. Does anybody else have prestidigitation, or is it just you?
I'm just gonna whisper to Sarah. I think I just peed myself. I don't know what's happening. It felt really warm.
Sarah just happened to be warming his pants at the time. His 1 foot of pants.
I don't hate it.
All right. With that, then the train of giants that are kind of walking, this like a marching group of giants that are trying to make their way down the road, continues for a solid, what feels like hours, but it's probably about 45 minutes to an hour of them trying to make their way by. Sarah, go ahead and give me a stealth check as well if you're trying to bury yourself in the snow.
Oh, okay. Well, stealth isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Maybe.
You're halfling, so.
Behind the trees,
I think snow.
Yeah, and buried in the snow, but as small as you are, and they don't have any reason to look in your direction unless you guys were making noise, which you're not. The problem is that Sarah and Pogo, you're almost certainly going to get another level of exhaustion from literally freezing yourselves by burying yourselves in the snow. If you get a natural 20, or if you make another, it'll be another 28. So you got to make another check, both of you.
I legitimately don't think it's possible.
I mean, it's a 5% chance. A natural 20 is still 5%.
Oh, for a natural 20. All right.
Nope. So both, as the group of giants have passed finally, and the road is somewhat free, and you see the last bits of their shadow, Norok, you're able to kind of, still being invisible, able to peek out a little bit and climb your way up to the road, and see that they're far enough away that the snow is kind of obscuring even their shadows anymore. The road is nice and smooth now because they clambered through it, and now it's a nice long way of new fresh snow being landed on. But apart from that, it's nice and packed and smooth. But Sarah and Pogo are just chattering teeth and freezing. That puts Norok at 2, everybody at 2, except for Sarah's at 3.
Let's make one of those tree houses. I'm so tired. I'm so cold.
What does slow actions mean?
So one.
It's basically like the spell slow, where you only get an action. Okay. You only get an action or a bonus action, but not both, and you can't take reactions at all.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
How much longer to the cave?
And it's also half speed. Everybody's at half speed now too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're all at 2.
No,
well, I'm on the broom, so.
Okay, I'm gonna cast a long strider on the group as much as I can.
Okay. You are still in blizzard. Arteme, you do know that the blizzard is going to last through the rest of the day. Like, by the way, it is by now. Let's see, you slept for 4 more hours. It's about noon at this point on Sunday, and you need to be at the summit by essentially Wednesday, really.
Okay.
I've got a few more polymorphs.
So I cast Longstrider on people, and yeah.
Okay.
Polymorph.
It's an extra 10 feet, isn't it? Yeah, 10 feet till the spell ends. Okay.
How far are we from the cave, Norak?
It's only an individual creature, Fox.
I upcasted it though.
Okay.
I upcasted it to level 4.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is 4. Okay, so that's 4 people that you can Longstrider. You still have 7 people in the group, so go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead and give me your plan. What you guys are doing here?
Okay, so if Sarah sells polymorph things, so I'm gonna cast it on her.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast it on Pogo.
No, I'm not walking. I'm riding on the fucking thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast it. Sorry, on Sarah, Choke, Norok, because I think Avar, myself, and Pogo will fit on the mammoth, right?
Azim can too. Yeah, all of it.
Azim too. So there we go. I'm gonna cast it on those 3.
Yeah. Okay.
And Pogo because it's going to counteract a bit of the slow from him freezing.
Well, if Pogo's riding, then it won't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're just doing, even if you put it on yourself, even if you don't need it right now, I guess basically I guess you could just do it as a third if you wanted to. If you just do be the only people with feet on the ground, unless Nazim, because Nazim's going to float, I assume, or ride the. What are you doing, Nazim?
I'm still doing the floating.
Okay.
Okay, you're still floating. Okay, so I'll cast on myself and the other 3 and go from there.
Okay. All right. Then you guys.
Any word back from Pietro?
You didn't hear words. It was a very awful scream.
Oh no!
He does not appear to be in the vicinity. Somehow he just maybe he just flew off.
Pietro, come in, Pietro. Oh god, guys, I think we lost Pietro. He must have succumbed to the cold.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be clear about that because Pogo would for sure know that he would be sending him to suicide if he was, because he's food. Of course, they're probably hungry and, yeah, anyways, so you're going to need a Pietro. Is that 4.0 or 3.0?
That's 3.0.
3.
Okay. All right. But you guys, get back on the road. You are freezing, and this is a difficult, arduous climb. Now, thankfully, it's a smooth one, but you still have a blizzard blowing in your faces as you guys try to clamber your way up the mountain. At this slow, trudging pace. It is still half speed for the mammoth, plus 10 feet. So it is, it's near the normal speed of the mammoth, but still slow. And it does take you quite a while to even get out of this first section. Arteme, you do realize that just in your natural senses that the blizzard will probably end sometime in the night, and then it may not be clear skies, but it won't be snowing at least for a little while in the morning.
Yeah, so we could use Windwalk in the morning.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, there'll still be wind, but it won't be snowing at least, so the vision won't be so obscured at the moment, at least.
When you said this took a while, more than an hour?
Yeah, probably. So.
Does it again.
Does it again.
Okay.
I'll swap into a mammoth when she swaps out.
Okay. So you're gonna do 2 polymorphs and then mammoth after that? Sarah twice and then mammoth?
Yeah, that works. Because then that'll leave me a 5th and my 6th left.
Okay. All right. Then if you're doing that for the rest of the evening, you do eventually, with like I said, a very slow trudging. I wouldn't say that you make what would be the full distance of the day because you had to spend so long on the side of the road, and that just kind of sapped any motivation to make this jog up the mountain as best you could. But you do late into the evening make it to another cave. There's a cave just up the slope. There's a pile of boulders down the slope with Norok. You recognize that those weren't there, so something, the weight of something, new ice or snow maybe dislodged them, something like that. It caused a small landslide, and it's this cave shouldn't be visible like from this. You should have to go around some rocks, but those rocks have been knocked down essentially.
Okay.
But it's late in the evening. The sun's getting low. It's good. Like you guys probably don't have much more time to go before you'd have to make another cold check. But it is a cave. So what are you guys doing?
I'm running in the cave. I'm so cold. We need fire. Is there wood? Is that a flame?
I'm gonna make a treehouse, so don't make a fire.
I'm so cold. Make a treehouse.
Well, you guys see Pogo
levitation on Pogo.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
right there.
I mean, if he's running off, he's bounding through snow that is taller than him. That's like
I'm gonna wait till we get at least to the mouth of the cave.
Okay, all right. Then you guys make your way to the mouth of the cave. Arteme, you recognize that there's something inside there. There's for sure something alive in there.
Oh, finally somewhere comfortable. Surely it's safe. And I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna start walking into the cave.
Arteme is mammoth right now, or is it me?
Well, Arteme might not even
no. This was long after the 2 hours, which means Arteme was wild shaping the rest of the time, which means Arteme is in wild shape, and I sent her a message there, but she's the only one that knows this, and she can't say it out loud.
So I'm jumping off and also following Pogo.
Okay,
right.
I'm just gonna use my tusk to kind of like,
knock him over. The two little halflings are trying to run in.
I am going to absolutely try to avoid getting hit by a tusk and keep going. I'm not gonna.
You know this, Arteme, and you see the two halflings racing in as fast as they can, like freezing, hands under their armpits, trying to keep themselves warm.
On the good side, you knocked me over. Looks like.
It should have been a dex save, but yeah, save by I mean, the number, the d20 roll would have been
I'm gonna
fine.
be careful not to hit them.
Well, okay. I mean, what were you trying to do? How are you trying to prevent?
Just knock us over a little bit.
I was trying to just pin it between my tusks.
Oh, okay. You're not inside yet. You guys are still outside the mouth of the cave. You can hear that from inside the cave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and try and being careful not to hit the little guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna stomp like in front of them, and then try and pin it between my tusks.
So do we see it at this point? Or is it like deep in?
Yeah, it's further in, and I don't think you could probably make it comfortably into the cave in the shape that you're in.
Okay, so I'll polymorph. Sorry, not polymorph, but I'll revert back.
Shape. Okay.
And
well,
then,
if that's the case, then you can tell them. Like, you can talk to them now. You just, in mammoth form, you wouldn't have been.
And I'll just say, hey, there's a bear in there.
Oh, bear! Fuck the bear!
Let's kill it.
I'm gonna murder this fucking bear, and I'm just running in.
I'm exhausted, and there's a cave.
Yeah, second I see a bear, I am fucking casting what is my strongest fucking shit that I can cast. I'm gonna cast.
Yeah. Try not to burn it. We could use the fur.
I'm gonna cast Hex on this fucking bear when I see it, and I am casting Guiding Bolt at level 5.
And I'm I'm gonna wait and see what his
this poor freaking animal. You guys just ambush a sleeping bear and just obliterate it.
It's blight at
if I hit it. Let's see if I hit it.
All right, so
it could be worse. I could put a arcane gate underneath the sleeping bear.
I don't even hit him.
Yeah.
Just drop him into the sky from the sky, Sako. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Orange and blue portal. He just wakes up in the light.
Doesn't matter. I missed with my thing, anyways.
All right, then I will use mine.
Because I want to.
Okay. Well, as Sarah and Pogo go rushing in, the rest of the group, Sarah or Arteme has reverted, so you guys are, climbing down back into the snow outside this cave. Snow and the rocks where this kind of landslide has revealed the mouth of this cave here. The Pogo and Sarah go rushing in first, outside of vision of the rest of the group there, so that you guys can move around, but at least so far that you can't see them. Pogo and Sarah, as you guys look at, rush into the mouth of the cave there, that is one big goddamn bear, and there's kind of these muscular shapes that are almost unnatural. As it starts to lift its head and squint in your direction, there is an emanating roar that rattles the rocks around you. You see dust and rocks kind of settling down from the ceiling as it begins to right itself and stand up. You can see that it can't stand up all the way inside this cave. It is a dire bear. It is quite large and very angry that you've woken it. It wasn't this is an unnatural hibernation, essentially. And it does appear to be wounded, probably. It's moving awkwardly.
Really happy with the decisions we made today, guys.
It's
gotta make a con save.
Okay.
As I fucking hurl bolts of magic energy past it, just waking it up. Ah!
Wrong one.
The halflings are cold and tired.
Yeah. We're used to smoking meat.
What'd you say, Sako?
That portal's not sounding so bad anymore.
Yes!
Actually, it's a really smart idea.
We're gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
I got my last one.
I thought that was your attack roll. I got really excited there.
Nope.
No, womp womp.
Damn it! He's
Still a
safe.
20. It's not natural 20, but still 20.
But I think he still takes half damage.
All right.
Let me double check.
This is where we're gonna end the game.
I think you guys
run in.
Yeah. This wasn't intended to be a combat encounter. You guys just decided to say fuck it and
No,
run in. So.
it's a bear. I'm gonna go murder this bear. I don't give a shit about bears. They don't got souls.
So he takes half of 49.
All right. Out of 125, so no. It actually, literally, their stats are, it's 125 for dire bears when they're not injured, and this one's clearly injured. So he's 20 to 49 would be 25. Yeah, rounded up would be 25 still. 25, you standing in the mouth of the cave, kind of surprised by this. Arteme had just told you this, and you kind of stop and almost fall forward onto your face as you right yourself, lift your hands up, and blow out this gust of this gentle wind of these diseased leaves that settle on its skin. It roars and launches itself in your direction. Sorry, Justin, yours was guiding bolt missed, right?
Yeah, I didn't hit shit.
But the hex still lands either way, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's only when I attack it, I think.
Yeah,
I deal an extra 1d6, so the hex is on it.
Both it is going to be a claw, one at Sarah, and then trying to just smash into Pogo to try to knock him into the wall.
Ah!
It can't really stand up, like there isn't enough space for what's that?
That'll hit me.
Shield.
Okay.
Hang on,
Yeah, it would have been 12. Well, if you're going to shield, well, still got a 25.
If it attacks me, I will do Hellish Rebuke, though, as my reaction.
Okay. It's still got a 25, so I mean, you still spend the shield.
I have to say it before you roll.
Yeah.
So.
I appreciate it. I should have given you the opportunity to, but yeah, 25 would still hit.
I didn't even see the 25, so it works.
So it rakes its claws across you.
I don't get reactions, huh? I don't get reactions.
Oh, yeah. No. Sarah definitely doesn't, so Sarah wouldn't get a reaction. So no shield anyways. So that means you didn't waste a spell slot, though, so that's good news, right? Pogo, you don't have the reaction problem. You just have the speed halved. As well.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Other swing of its claws trying to smack into Pogo.
I guess I will use my reaction.
Yeah, you can use your reaction if you choose to. Yep. 24.
So I still take the damage from that, by the way. So you're going to roll for damage, and then just... Fuck you, bear! I think I can upcast this too.
Well, he rolled shit, so he rolled 2 1s.
I'm gonna do this at 4th level 2. Dex save of 17.
All right, doesn't have a modifier for Dex, so
big slow fat piece of shit.
Yeah, it's just a 10. So 11 does not succeed.
26 damage.
All right,
we inside the cave now.
Yeah, you guys. So this happens.
I'm
as
starting
the
a
rest of you
fire.
are coming around. As you guys are coming around the corner there, you see a head that is the size of Pogo, of a bear, that just smashed at both of them with its claws, raking against both halflings, sending them flinging out, spraying a splash of blood across the snow as they both go kind of flinging backwards outside the cave a little bit, back when you guys are coming around the corner. So
Ginger snaps!
So the rest of you are now in sight of this bear, all 3 of you. What are you guys doing?
Ginger snaps!
I'm going to use my braided whiplash on it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make
Do you
the attack
remember
roll.
Ginger snaps, Jeremy? That's Avar's safe word.
Oh, it was his safe word. I knew it was somebody's safe word, but I didn't remember what it was. Yeah,
to fire his bow.
You're telling him. I see. Okay. I was thinking you were banana-ing or pineapple-ing rather over your Rocky Talk.
Where would I find it?
Now's the time. Now's the time. It's been funny so bad this whole time. Now's the fucking time you're supposed to fire. 11 will not hit Fox. You standing at the mouth of the cave, you send the whip over, and it ends up just hitting the rocks right above the top of the cave. You still have a bonus action.
Can I try with my whip with it?
No, it has to be an actual bonus action. If you had multi-attack, you could, or if you had a second attack like Norok does. But
yeah, well, I have no bonus actions at all, like period.
You do. Your spells might be gone. I don't know.
No, I don't have a bonus. Oh wait, no, I do. Okay, hang on.
Norok, you'd probably be the furthest one back. I'm gonna give, if you don't mind, I'm letting Nazim try his because you'd be a little bit easier to run in. G, and then you'd be right after.
Cool. I know what I'm gonna do.
If you have a bonus action, go ahead.
Yes, I do. Grasping vine.
Grasping vine. Okay. Are you trying to? Where are you putting the vine?
I'm putting it like on the wall behind it. I'm gonna try and like use it to like bring the bear back towards the wall.
outside or inside the cave?
Inside the cave, because it's all the way inside. I don't want to move it closer to us.
Through us.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to make sure is if you're trying to pull it out, because it is. Yeah, it definitely fails. So, Norok, as you go rushing forward, you see, you maybe catching just a glimpse of the vine that is wrapping around the ankles of the bear and kind of yanking it backwards as the face disappears into the mouth of the cave. Nazim, what are you doing?
Right now, I guess I'll just hit with the Eldritch Blast. I assume it didn't make a swing at us yet, did it?
It hit both of the halflings already. Are you just not paying attention?
No, I am. I was looking at the Hellish Rebuke, and I was thinking I could use it as a reaction, but if he didn't, when the vines whipped him back, obviously he didn't do anything to us.
Well, Hellish Rebuke is only as a reaction when they tried to hit you anyways. Yeah. And Pogo did Hellish Rebuke it already, and it got and Sarah covered it in diseased leaves.
Nice.
But you can see it, so if you're going to Eldritch Blast, go ahead.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast, and all of them hit center mass.
Okay. AC is 17.
All right, that's 3, right?
Yep. Go ahead and click the attack. All right, so 1 hit.
All 3?
2 hit. So go ahead and roll damage twice.
Damage twice.
No crits, so just the regular hits on them. All right, 13, and that's actually 14 because your first hit of Eldritch Blast in each volley of them does +1. So 14, 28 more. All right, so with Nazim in the mouth of the cave, he's no, actually, I didn't apply the injury. Okay. Nazim, you rush into the mouth of the cave, seeing the bear being yanked backwards by this grasping vine. You send out one hand of this black lightning that hits it in the face, and the creature recoils just enough as you hit it with the second in the neck. It kind of collapses forward, but it is still breathing. It's trying to pull its way back towards the mouth of the cave. You see that it can't stand up in here. There's not enough space. It must have crawled inside of this, trying to get out of the storm. Norok, it is your turn.
What a terrible way to wake up.
Yeah, really. You guys just fucking ambush this poor creature. It's not mean. It's not evil. It's just it's just an animal that you guys decided to obliterate while it slept.
Does it look like it's still trying to fight everybody, or is it trying to run?
Give me a nature check
this
with
the line
disadvantage.
Yeah, we care about bears. We kill giants, but we care about bears.
Giants can be. I mean, they're not, but they can be evil.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. Did you say nature?
Yeah, nature check with disadvantage.
Okay.
All right, 10. You can't tell. It is like there's only one exit to this cave as far as you can see, and it's towards you, and it's clawing its direction towards that. But I mean, if you got out of the way, maybe it would flee, but you really don't have any way of knowing. It looks very mad and very injured.
All right. Well, if I step out of the way, could it get around everybody else, or is everybody else in the way still too?
Yeah, everybody's still in the way. Yeah. You would definitely couldn't get by, but it wouldn't be able to get by with everybody else in the way either.
Yeah.
Think of the cloak you could make with that bear skin.
Yeah, that's true.
It is a real big bear. You'd probably have. It'd be
burnt it.
Yeah, it'd be more like cloaks all around if you guys wanted to. Everybody gets a new cloak, but it would take time to do that.
And the issue is Pogo burnt it, and I specifically said don't burn it.
I missed.
To use the fur.
I didn't hit
You
shit.
missed. Okay.
Oh, Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, Hellish Rebuke burned it. Yeah, no, I burned the shit out of it.
Just a patch.
That's only it's only part of its face. You wouldn't use the face for the cloak
very
anyway, right?
cold,
No,
and
I
it felt
use the
good
face.
for a second, and that's what Pogo's all about.
But I would use the face, but Pogo would probably try and make the face into a hat.
Oh yes, it would be like a.
Except the head is
body.
bigger. Yeah, it's literally his whole body. He'd be
Turn
a
into
walking bear head.
sled.
It'd be like those Chinese dragon float the parade
Yeah,
floats where
basically, I'd be the
everybody's
head
a part
part.
of the dragon,
Yeah.
and he'd be just the head part. Try your second swing, G.
Yeah, I was gonna say I highly doubt that one.
Yeah, 3 did not hit.
Yeah.
You trimmed his nails with
come
your
Oh shit. Great Weapon Master's on there twice, and it shouldn't be, but it still should have had the attack roll modified as well by your exhaustion. It wasn't on there. Either way, 4 on the attack roll would have been 12 minus it. Yeah, it would not have hit anyways.
Yeah.
Even with or after your exhaustion. So those don't hit. Do you have a bonus action or anything else you want to hit him with?
No, I think I'm just gonna. It doesn't look like he's gonna be too much more trouble, so I'm just gonna wait it out.
You still have bonus action and movement. I mean, if you want to do anything with it. Otherwise, we're going to be starting another round here.
All right. Well,
You're in the front now, by the way, because the halflings got pushed back a little bit.
All right, then I'll just make sure I stay in the front. If anybody else can get in front of them, so the bear tries to whack me instead, and then that'll be it.
Okay. All right. Then you rushing forward, you kind of try to step sideways enough to try to give it freedom. Arteme, does your grasping the vine? It's just once per turn that you can make it try, right? It doesn't hold on the whole time. The creature must succeed on or be pulled toward the vine until the spell ends. You can direct the so it does another lash each time. It doesn't hold on to them, so he does have free movement or to get out of the until if your turn again if you chose to. It lunges as best as it can, trying to pull itself forward, very wounded, covered in these diseased boils that appeared where these leaves had landed on it, face burned, one eye not able to see out of it. As it tries to claw its way forward, it pulls itself to the mouth of the cave and is going to try to bite at Norok's ankles, because this is an injured animal that you guys just severely it was close to death, actually. If either of those sword hits had hit, it probably would have killed it, but it looks that bad. 22. I assume that'll hit, G?
Yeah.
A 9. You're not raging either, so it's 9 piercing damage. And 1 try to slash with its claws as it's trying to pull its way beside you there.
Cutting words. No, it doesn't matter.
An 11 will not hit, so.
Yeah, okay.
But that does take your reaction. So.
Yeah.
But it pulls its way upwards until it's able, out far enough out of the cave beside Norok to be able to actually kind of stand, up and still on all fours, but stand upward. And it lunges over the slope where these rocks are, where the slope, the landslide that I was describing, where the blocks or the rocks that were blocking the cave are now pulled down, trying to lunge over him. It does allow any of you an opportunity to attack if you so choose. I will tell you that it is bleeding pretty profusely from the wounds and is just a straight trail of blood straight up to the cave.
I'm absolutely going to try to attack it.
Okay.
Me too.
Attack with my little elven short sword here. Probably won't hit, but we can try since it's minus a something. Oh yeah, definitely not going to hit.
Oh, I do. Great.
What?
I wasn't even sure I had a melee weapon.
Oh wait, I don't have a reaction. Just kidding. That doesn't matter.
No, you still do.
No,
Sarah
I used
does.
cutting words. I used.
Oh, that's
words.
right. Yeah. Yep. Nazim and Norok, Arteme.
For me, I'm going to hit him one more time with that, but also a bonus action of Psychic Shove and shove him back into the vines.
Okay, well, this is technically a reaction is a thing. This is an opportunity attack that you have. So do you have any reactions or a melee attack with an opportunity attack? Oh, never mind. You have Warcaster. So you could still do a spell as Warcaster as an opportunity attack.
Yeah. So I was... actually, what do you think, guys? Psychic Shove him back into the vines or just hit him with another blast?
Psychic Shove. Is this dinner? I feel like this is dinner. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm cold.
I agree. And then there's no blood outside the cave either.
Yeah, we don't want something.
Well, I mean,
blood.
there's some in the mouth. It just hasn't gotten over the rocks yet. If it gets over those rocks, it's going to be visible from the road.
No, just suck it back in. Just try to avoid us if you don't mind.
Psychic Shove right back into those vines.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's within 30 feet of me at this point.
He's within 5 feet of you right now.
Okay,
He's trying to leave. Yeah.
Can I use a bonus action to re-grab it with the vine?
On your turn.
Not during the opportunity attack, but you can when we come back, or if we come back around again.
Okay.
Psychic Shove. Let's see. That's also a bonus action, actually, Sako, so that wouldn't work anyways. It'd have to be a reaction, so it has to be well, shit. I guess that's not a spell though. Yeah, because Warcaster is just a spell, isn't it? Click on Warcaster for me.
All right, give me a second to grab that.
Under your features tab. Warcaster, I believe, is only spells, but you do. Okay, you didn't have to make the con save for the thing anyway. So, hostile creature prefers an opportunity attack. You can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature rather than making an opportunity attack. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Psychic Shove is enough of a magical effect that you can go ahead and do that, assuming that you still want to, because it's not an innate thing. It's a thing you got specifically from your Ceramorphosis. Or Ceramorphosis. Yeah, I said it right, I think. All right, so Psychic Shove. You can see within 30 feet. Target must succeed on a strength save. Okay. Strength save. Your DC is 17, I believe. I got a 23. He succeeds. He leaps over the top of it. We still have any other opportunity attacks to resolve, and then we'll be back around to another turn.
Okay, because I don't have a reaction, or I don't have a weapon that I could use as.
Your whip. Your whip. No, your whip is.
My whip. Okay, I could use my whip then.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and make the attack. Yeah, an opportunity attack, unless you have Warcaster, is just a regular melee or a regular attack, which your whip would count as. So go ahead and make the attack roll. That'll. Shit. No. Why is that so reduced? Oh, you rolled a 3. No, you rolled a 3. It looked like the die, the number on the die looked better, but yeah. You try whipping at it; it's still lumbering up over the whip hits it, but it doesn't seem to make contact. It just catches into the fur. Sword of Stolen Hours also misses. Any other opportunity attacks? This bear is about to make it over. Is that it?
I don't get one.
Yeah, you don't get reactions because you're too frozen. All right. Well, the bear is up over the rocks and down onto the other side. He's no longer visible to you.
I already named it dinner.
So we come back around. That means Pogo and Sarah. You guys were the first into the cave and therefore first. So
great.
Pogo and Sarah.
Bear.
Okay.
You want to help me the bear? I'm going 16, in and try to get warm.
Would 16 have hit? Because I think my Brave Weapon Master still toggled on because there was 2 minus.
Oh shit! Hang on. It's on there twice. Hang on. That would be a 13. Yeah. So there's. I tried to fix the macro and I think I did it wrong. So you wouldn't have been using Great Weapon Master on the second attack?
No,
on this opportunity?
Attack anyway.
Okay. All right. So that means it would have been a 21, which would hit.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't be -5. There's -5 is on there twice, so it would just be a 13 plus 4 plus 4 is 21. So that does hit. Go ahead and roll the damage for your Sword of Stolen Hours. That'll do it. All right. So as everybody is doing their best, just throwing everything that they can at this creature, as everybody's fucking freezing, just trying to get into the safety and warmth of a cave for a minute after this terrible day. You cleave down into just basically its back leg as it's just trying to leap up over these stones and carve the leg off. The leg just slaps off onto the side, sprays blood all over this little kind of like vestibule area almost, where these rocks are kind of covering the mouth of the cave. You can't see the mouth of the cave from the road, and the bear kind of sloughs off to one side, collapses on top of its own leg, no longer moving.
Great. I'm going to start a fire.
In this massive blood-covered cave, I'll just mention to everyone, we probably could have just asked it if we could today.
I don't care.
You guys do have the ability to talk to animals if you so chose, but
find wood.
I will tell you though, Arteme, as soon as the bear, you guys are going to have to deal with that in a minute, sure, but you need to get a moment to kind of not freeze as you all step into the cave. There is room for all of you in here, but the cave is not tall enough, as you saw for the bear not being able to stand up. It's not tall enough to be able to fit the tree in here for sure.
No, let's just
okay. So we're going to have to make the tree outside.
Baby.
I vote we just stay in the cave.
We'd freeze because I could actually regulate the temperature in the treehouse, so we won't freeze. We'll actually be warm.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still things. So if those guys were running away from, how about we make a fire now? We talk about it. Can we make a fire and then talk about making a fire?
I'll use produce flame to make a fire, but what I'm saying is I can make the treehouse at the mouth of the cave, so the tree would be blocking the cave, and then we'd have like the cave, and you guys could move between the cave and the treehouse. So we move the bear's body in the cave.
Yeah, we could do that still as well, but just so you know, I have a feeling that dragon's close. Still flying around, and I don't know.
You're a lot closer to it now, and it is getting late, and you do know that it flies around at night.
It flies around at night.
And I'll go ahead and tell you too that Arteme, you can see where the rocks that, remember, the cave is up on a slope upwards from the road, and the rocks that were blocking the cave entrance have kind of landslided down, so they're kind of still blocking the mouth of the cave. But if you were to put the tree up with the dome on top of it, that will definitely be visible from the road, and certainly from above.
Okay. I guess we'll have to try and keep as warm as possible inside the cave then.
There's enough of a bend that you feel like if you block the entrance in any way, you probably could keep enough warmth in this cave to make it comfortable enough for the night. Certainly enough to be able to sleep. But we're at time here, so what we'll go ahead and do is we'll wrap up here, and then the next couple of weeks are going to be tricky. Because of Ben's work schedule and